Welcome, Internet, to the Place of Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by apparently Chalfie. And also making another appearance is TPR. How are we today, gentlemen?
Just fine.
Just fine, yeah. Okay.
Excited for Boston to lose game one. Yeah.
That's the energy I want. Yes, Boston, y'all can go straight to hell.
Yeah.
You know, I would love for them to get swept. That would just make me
That'd be great.
I would love that.
Like if we could see one of them cry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tears. Jaylen Brown doesn't make good on his prediction. This is great. You know, all things bad happening to Boston at all times.
What was his prediction?
That's how I roll. I think he said he was going to have like several championships within a certain amount of years, and he still has yet to get one. And I believe that is supposed to happen this year. So he's got just this year to win several championships. So
wow.
Yeah.
So easy, you know.
Yeah. So
trash. I'm tired, man. I had a long day. I'm good. Like I'm fine. Just tired.
I can tell. And I share that sentiment. This has been like the longest 2 weeks ever for me. Between the kids being out of school and getting ready for our 20-year anniversary, and then just work.
On vacation.
Yes, I am.
And you're doing it big too.
I'm so ready to be out of here.
You guys celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm probably like the worst husband for that. Like we don't really do stuff.
Oh, I'm not good at it. It's all the wife.
It's just her.
Yeah, she gets mad because it's like, you just show up.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to partner with
I mean,
me
it's shared energy. Me and my wife, we don't really do those things a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, we'll go out by ourselves or something, but we're not like, you know, taking vacations out of the day or anything like that.
Yeah, my wife is definitely the celebratory type. She wants to celebrate.
Maybe for like
all
a big
things.
one or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was on the road most of the day. I had to drive like all the way across the city. I had a meeting today at 3:00 on the other side of the city.
This is why Teams is a thing. Like, we just...
I had to drive all the way there and then fight traffic to get all the way back. Just drains you, man, because it's like this. It's the stop and start. Because from my house to the north side of the county, it's like a 2-lane highway, and it's a major highway, and it's just red lights all the way there, all the way back.
There's no back street. There's no other way to navigate that. Oh, that's no bueno.
Just hop on the freeway, and I mean, freeway. You've seen Atlanta freeways.
I've not seen Atlanta.
It's one side of the same coin. Same thing, different road. It's not any better.
Yeah, so, that's no bueno at all.
I just feel drained right now.
Yeah.
Boston's getting KP though.
Like out there.
Kristaps is coming back.
So
I think he changes. Like they have.
Look, man.
Look, I'll just put it this way: they have no excuses. Like if there was ever a time for them to win, like now of all times, like this is it. Like everybody they face have gotten injured or fallen out of the way or anything. It's just like, come on, guys, get it together.
Even more reason for them to lose.
But I'm kind of hoping Cavs for Mavs, baby. This energy got them through once before, and we are trying to get them through a second time. So,
like, man, somebody just kick Kristaps in the calf on accident. Just a little kick here or there. Just take him out.
Take him out. A hard pick. Okay.
Yeah,
little Caitlin Clark action.
Absolutely.
Just coming off the screen.
Tanya Harding. Back. No.
Hey, if you're not bleeding, are you really playing? I'm just saying.
Right.
Dude, it's funny we haven't talked about it. Nobody's asked us a question about it. But I was thinking about this. The social stuff and the buzz around this Caitlin mess is so loud and obnoxious that it's made me less interested than tuning into the WNBA than ever. Now I realize that's like a hot take. It's a minor take. I think more people are paying attention to women's basketball because of this probably than ever. But this are all the wrong reasons why I would ever even watch a game. I'm like, never mind. It's like I don't want to. Like I just want to. Can we just play basketball? Or no, we can't do that. We have to,
I mean, they have been playing basketball, and unfortunately,
nobody
nobody's paying
cares.
attention.
Yeah, nobody
Like
cares.
Joy Taylor
Oh,
Thomas had a really good take
really?
yesterday, where she was like, the only reason anybody's even now paying attention is because of the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese thing that happened in college 2 years ago. It's like that is what made it interesting to the public, and then that is why now people are paying more attention to the WNBA. I'm
We're just like painting them
unfortunately, you're right.
in different sides and like litigating hundreds of years of like trauma and stuff. Like, man, let the women play basketball.
Yeah. And realize that they play basketball just like the dudes do. There's
Yeah.
going to be hard fouls.
It's absurd.
There's going to be welcome to the paint moments, all of
It's
that.
crazy.
And it's always been that way. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at Candace Parker's rookie season, she was getting beat up. Like, it's
That's
basketball.
everything. That's all sports. Carry the bags, Rook.
Yeah. This is nothing new. It's just
not-
now people are like, oh, they do that.
It's absurd.
too.
Like the
Okay.
takes, like I said, that's why
Yeah.
I haven't brought it up. Or I'm like, I see it and I'm like I'm even to the point of starting muting things. I'm like, I did, and I now no longer want to see any of this. Like, I get it.
Oh,
guys.
I
We're
love
done.
it. I'm here for it all. I've been following the WNBA for a couple of years now. Like, I really enjoy the W. So I'm here for it. I'm like, yeah, sure. We'll take all this press. Let's go. Everybody, come on. Keep
It's
it coming.
good. Like
Bring the
I
money.
do think that like it is good for them. The exposure, this is the most exposure they've probably ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, that's why I know it's probably a hot take, but it's like, man, I just want them to like, why can't the exposure be good? Like,
Just
why
good
can't it just be
basketball, yeah.
amazing basketball?
Yeah, can we just not just look at, the back-to-back?
Why are y'all talking about this?
championships
Why are you
and
talking
aces?
about the fact they lost by like 40?
Yeah, one reason
that?
is the Fever are just a bad team. Like they might be the worst team in the WNBA right now.
That's why they had the first pick. It's
That's
like,
why- yeah,
do we
that's how that
forget that they had the
Yeah.
first pick because they were trash? Like, that's how this works. The bad teams get the good picks.
So anyway, I didn't want to turn that into this, but I definitely wanted to say that. That's why we haven't
Yeah.
talked about it, or why I haven't talked about it at least.
I mean, there's not been really any reason for us to. And like you said, there hasn't been any questions. So, out of sight, out of mind. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. TPR, since you're still kind of a guest, what the hell you been up to?
I've been playing Control and fielding fuck yous from Haley and
Control is an excellent video game.
Yeah,
like
it's
one of
just-
my favorites.
it's just getting better. I think I'm near the end of the game. My powers are ramping up a lot. I got 2 new powers. I'm almost
There's like
max-
a couple.
Yeah.
There's like a couple faux endings to that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, if you think you're like, if this is the first time you felt like it's the end, it's not the end.
Gotcha.
If this is the second time it's felt like the end, I still don't think it's the end. I haven't played it in a couple years, but like that's my memory of it.
I'm still fielding a lot of side quests. I love bringing down certain altered
Oh yeah.
altered objects. Like I just brought down the thing that shoots clocks out of its mouth, and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
That
It
game
also-
is so
yeah.
damn good.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
It
I-
really is.
Yeah. Haven't even touched the DLC yet. I heard that triggers near the end of the game or at the end of the game. So I'm just excited to see that and how it ropes in with Alan Wake. And then, yeah, just excited to play more of it.
What was the? Did you do the hotel part, like the music part? What was that called?
The
You know what I'm talking about,
hotel.
Dev?
I've done
I
the
remember
hotel.
going to the hotel, but I don't remember.
Ocean
Like the
View
music
Casino?
part, like the
Music.
escape.
Oh, music. I
Oh,
don't know.
the ashtray something or other.
Ash,
Oh.
is that what it's called?
I haven't done the ashtray maze yet. Everyone talks about it,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
If you haven't done that, you're not anywhere near the end.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody hyped up the ashtray maze, and I was
Oh,
just like,
God.
I don't.
You didn't like it? I loved it.
No,
I thought
it's not that I didn't like it. I just was like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm like, this
Really
is a
cool.
cool set piece, but I just didn't understand why everybody was so hyped around the music for it and everything.
It's the same. I was the same way about Alan Wake 2. Everybody was so hyped up about that music part, and I was like, this is not that great. But it was more of I don't know. I don't want to relitigate Alan Wake 2 things. Sorry, Rob. But yeah, Control is 1,000 times better. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It
we
was
don't do that here. It's
Yeah.
Control or nothing. You can keep your
Control was so,
Alan
it was
Wake.
so good. Like one day they're going to hit us with a Control 2.
Yeah, they are.
That's going to be an awesome day. Like I can't wait
It's
for
gonna
that.
be great.
to happen.
It's gonna
You
be
know,
great.
PlayStation 6, right?
7.
There's no way that comes out by the end of this gen. right?
I mean,
Yeah.
you never
They
know.
just shipped Alan Wake. I think Control 2 is like at least 2 years away, but probably like 4, like
At
3 or
best.
4.
They're
right?
still working on that
3.
second Alan Wake 2 DLC, if not not done the first yet. Yeah.
Who knows? We might still be in this generation because this
Hey,
generation
hey,
really
like,
hasn't started
what
yet.
even are generations? Like,
I mean,
maybe
who knows?
that's the next level thinking, right?
Mhm.
Tired is thinking that we even have generations. Like Wired is realizing it's just PCs now. There are no generations. You just buy one.
There's no generations.
Buy one until you don't like it anymore, and then guess what? Buy the next one, and then keep doing that. Like, who cares?
Basically.
PC doesn't have generations. Nobody gives a shit.
Well, sure.
I mean, they don't. Like, just you said it yourself. Lots of people play on some old ass shit.
Yeah, they
Lots
do.
of 2060s out there. Nobody cares.
Still generations. They just don't
Sure.
care. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
It's not a thing.
Generations don't matter
It's not a thing.
until you can't run the game on your old ass i7 7700K, and then you're
Beauty of
forced
streaming.
to
Get
get
that
a new one.
GeForce Now going, and you're still kicking. Like, just keep
Look
putting
here,
in quarters.
don't invoke D-Life. Please stop. Please stop it. That's also something we don't want to do here.
I applaud your efforts, TPR. Control is a dope ass game.
That it is.
That thing set me off on such a pass. I started playing that, and I started watching Twin Peaks, and I started playing Deadly Premonition. Like that game spanned like multiple, like it was a multimedia universe that I got set off into.
It's funny you say that. I've started reading SCP wiki articles.
Yeah.
Secure, contain, protect. That's a lot of what Control draws from.
Yeah.
That big.
It's
like
a lot.
Twin
It's a lot to
Peaks
unpack.
on the internet,
You just kind of start to you can start to peel that onion and go down as far down the rabbit hole as you want to.
And it's like
I
was
didn't
watching
even open the door.
Oh, it's great. I was watching a YouTube video, and it said the SCP Foundation. Once you step foot inside, you'll see certain objects, like a 6-sided die that lands on a 7. I'm just like, oh, even just that, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
So, I just love the intertwining. And Twin Peaks is on my list. X-Files is on my list.
I bought the series. I was so into. I was just like, I need more of this.
Wow.
I must have missed all of this.
Yeah, I remember when it was a thing because I'm that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I spent like, I don't know, I felt like it was like a 6-month period. Like I played Control, and like for 6 months, like I just did that. I remember talking to Board of Video Games. It's like, I'm watching Twin Peaks now.
Nice.
Good times.
Anything else you've been playing, or just digging the Control life? That's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Donnie, you got a PlayStation and are playing PlayStation games, and this is just weird. It's just weird.
I got my plates. My plates came in. I took pictures. I posted them on Threads. Posted them in the Discord. I had this vision of I was going to do the dual tone thing. I was going to have mix matching plates. I see folks do it from time to time. It always seems so hip. And then I put them on, and I was like, that ain't it. Like that's
ugly.
It looks good in the YouTuber video that I saw. It doesn't look good on the actual in practice. But the plates that I bought were the silver plates, the sterling silver, like the gray that they call them, and they are gorgeous. Like they just give me the PlayStation 5 in these plates just give off that PlayStation vibe. Like it just looks classic. It's like the classic PlayStation gray look. I offset it with the sticker, and got to get to the flaming toast and get the stuff going, and then immediately I put and then you know what it was the finish. The white plates are glossy, but the gray plates are matte, and I was like, this doesn't.
Okay.
That's what kills it. So I was like, all right, let's take these off and let's put them all on. And once I put them all on and have the all gray with the steel base, like the steel ring, I was like, this is it. This is what the PlayStation 5 Slim should look like. And now I've had to buy a new controller because now my controller doesn't match. And I'm like, well, this just can't stand.
Christ.
This, I can't have this white controller with this gray system. So anyway, I got the controller too to match, and I'll take my other controller back to GameStop. But yeah, man, I'm playing Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I have played some Stellar Blade. I'll talk about it in a minute, but the first time I sat down to play with it, like I played Stellar Blade for about 30 minutes, and then I was going to close out, but like I downloaded everything that I had, and funny thing, Dev, I'm not sure if you haven't listened to PSXP, which
I
I
have
was
not.
on last week. I went to go grab a hard drive out of my drawer of like stuff that I have, and we all have like, isn't that like just a techie thing? We all just have like
you
a
got a
drawer. Yeah.
drawer full of
I have a
crap. Yeah.
cabinet full of just tech things.
Wires,
You got
controllers,
hard
jump
drives,
cord.
cords,
Yeah.
and cable. Yeah. So I grab a hard drive, an external hard drive. I plug it in because I know I'm just going to download a bunch of my PlayStation 4 games from my library to it. It was the hard drive from the last time I had a PS5. They were already there.
Oh, boom! Plug it in.
I just
It's like it
plugged
never
it just
happened.
worked.
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't I get the reformat option? And I started going to I'm like, oh, because this thing's full of games already. I forgot. So I went to go turn it off after playing about 30 minutes of Stellar Blade. And of course, I see Infamous Second Son, and I was like, "Yeah,
here we go."
So I played Infamous for like 3 hours, like the first time I sat down to play it. I was like, buy his expensive, fancy PlayStation 5 and all the stuff. Plays Infamous anyway. I did clear my save on Astro after the PlayStation State of Play Direct or whatever, and I started replaying Astrobot, and I haven't quite finished yet. But nobody cares about any of that. That's all stuff. Dev, I have played the Stellar Blade for a couple of hours, and I quite like it. It's pretty good. I don't love it. So I think you're probably square on your synopsis there. It is tough. It's not too tough. I'm not like I can't play this. It's too tough. I've died a few times, but it's not like super hard.
Are you playing in the regular mode or are you playing in the story mode?
I started in the regular mode. I have since dropped down. I did beat the Abaddon, the first big, and I beat the second big. But when I got to the last one, I was like, I should probably drop down. It is tough. It's just really demanding of your parries. And the thing that I said on XP was that like I actually appreciate it for what it does, is that it's got a dodge, but like you can't really dodge things with it. You can't like spam roll. No, you can't like spam roll like you can in so many games with the dodge, I guess is more or less what I'm trying to say. Like you can dodge, but it doesn't really get you out of the way of harm's way. So you could dodge into something or still get hit. So I like that because it kind of really demands that like you sit in the pocket and get your timing down in the combat. Like you can't just spam the roll. Like I think you can in so many action games that are like it. I kind of appreciate that about it. I think my main thing right now is that I really wish there was a lot more story to keep me going. Like so far, a couple hours in, I am literally just meandering around fighting things that are, like I need more. I want more motivation. It's starting. I'm only a couple hours in and it's already starting to feel a little repetitive, I think.
Have you gotten to the city yet?
I don't think so, or I guess not.
Yeah, then you're still in the tutorial then.
Okay. So, but yeah, I haven't played it a whole lot. Like I said, I've only played maybe a couple hours at best. Maybe. I'm not even sure if that's the thing. But I do like it. It's a beautiful game. Really. And not just like not Eve and the character model, like the whole it reminds me a lot of Scarlet Nexus. Do you remember that game?
I do.
Yeah. That's the vibe that I'm like, this is kind of like Scarlet Nexus, which I enjoyed too. That game wasn't nearly as hard, but like it is, the vibe is similar. I do love the counters and stuff. I like that you feel very powerful in the combat when you do get it. Yeah. Like the first time I went to the Abaddon guy, I fought him for like 3 or 4 minutes and died. And then the second time I came back, I kicked his ass in like 30 seconds. Because like it just took me a little bit to get caught up, and then once I got caught up, I was like, piece of cake, you're done. But like, yeah, I dig the power up moves and stuff, and it's just a very cool cinematic game. And that was when I was on XP, that's what I was talking about. It reminded me of kind of Scarlet Nexus meets like a Bayonetta game. But yeah, I like it.
Nice. Yeah, definitely one of my more enjoyable games of this year. It's very pretty. The combat is definitely demanding, but also very rewarding once you get it down.
Yeah.
And I personally enjoy the story. Like I'm the guy that goes and does all the stuff. So like I'm gonna clear the entire area before I move on, just because I want to collect all the story beats and see what everybody needs and what how everything kind of coalesces and come together. So that's what I'm enjoying. But yeah, if you haven't made it to the city yet, it's really you're not really getting much of the story until you get to the city and start
Okay.
branching out and talking to people and stuff while you're
That was
just
my
running around.
that was a concern I started to build. I was like, all right, so this is like combat simulator. Like I need more motivation. The thing that I do love about the game that is my shit are all the little hidden areas and peaks and things to find. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the shimming along the walls to find abandoned offices, or like to jump off a bridge, or to go backwards or duck under and find like the little chests and everything. Absolutely love all of that. Like I'm going through all the back
Yeah,
alleys and fighting all the extra folks too. So
there's
that's
a
why
ton
that
of
maybe
that.
I've played it, maybe longer and haven't reached wherever. How long does it take to usually get there?
I don't know. I
Because
don't
I
even
am doing
remember.
like that first intro area, like where you jump over the bridge and stuff. There's like
Mm-hmm.
3 like back alleys and extra bot. Like I did all of
Mm-hmm.
that, and like so I'm me. I'm jumping on all the cars and
Yeah,
all. I'm
you're
doing
gonna
all the
find all
things.
the broken spaces and all the
I haven't
things.
found a
Yeah,
one. Game's super polished. I haven't found
yeah,
one issue and one mistake. Not even a little bit. Super polished, super fluid, looks great, plays great. It's
yep,
very nice. Very nice. Very ornate. Very
yeah.
like detailed world. It was very cool. It's very
Very
cool.
much so. Yeah, and once you start getting into like some of the other story pieces and the people, and you start to build out the lore of the world, it's even cooler, in my
It's
opinion.
been a few days. I can't remember where I left off, but I was doing something. I got to a point where I'm opening. Okay, now I remember. I got to a point where I'm opening like a really big door. And I just paused there. I was like, I'll just save here and come back and start from here. But it was like a really big door. I had to go find a code for it. And it was
Hmm.
like a big, like the whole thing.
There's so many big doors in that game, I can't remember.
Okay.
Have you fight the big tire dude yet?
That doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, yeah, you still got a ways to go then.
Okay. Sad
Yeah,
part, I just
so.
want to, it's not that I don't want to play it. It's just I want to play so many things.
Hmm.
Like after the showcase, I really want to play Astrobot. I was like, I gotta go play some Astrobot again. I gotta get this scratch this itch and stuff. So I'll find time.
Yeah, you will. You got a PlayStation now. You got time. You got it
It's
all.
very pretty.
Yeah,
Do you see the people in the chat? They really like it.
I did
Barrett was
not.
like, now that I've seen yours, it got me looking at mine like, what the fuck? It's like I told you.
I have not been in PlayStation chat at all.
Oh
I haven't been in
man.
Discord very much at all. I've been just busy and tired.
It looks really good. Like the anniversary PS4 seems like Donnie tried to create a lot of that.
It's very nice. Thank you.
Cool. Well, all I've been doing is playing Destiny. So
Yeah.
Destiny
How
has its
amazing
hooks
is it?
in me. This is great. I love what they're doing with the story is just absolutely incredible. What they've added with the prismatic subclass is just insane. Being able to have abilities from all the different subclasses is just crazy. And you don't even unlock everything yet. So I haven't finished the story because the servers, of course, were completely just
I
bombarded.
saw them they post about that or something.
Yeah,
I saw
they were
that.
posting all day about it yesterday.
Yeah, I saw something about that on Threads at some point. I scrolled by something like that.
Yeah, so there were a lot of like just connection issues. So everybody was having a problem just signing into the game. And then you'd finally get into the game and then you couldn't start any missions. It would just kick you back to orbit. So you
Technical
just
issue or
kept getting
just
kicked back.
overwhelming?
I think it was both, combination of both, because you never even saw a queue. So you would just be sitting there, it's like servers are being overwhelmed. We're waiting for it to normalize. Just wait here, and it'll let you in when things stabilize out. You'd finally get in, and then you'd get in, and then you'd either try to join on somebody, or you try to start a mission, and it would just boot you right back to orbit. So there was a lot of that. So I think took me like 2.5 hours before I could even get into the game. And then once I got in, me and my boy Steve were trying to play missions, and it kept like kicking us to orbit before we could get through. But we got through we played for about 4 hours once we finally got in, did some dinner stuff, took care of the kids, and then we came back. And that's when they had fixed whatever the issues were for people logging in around 8 my time, so around midnight his, or close to midnight his. And we just kept playing till about 12:30 my time. So like
Yeah.
another 4 or 5 hours, and we still didn't get through like the full campaign. We got through maybe a quarter of it, I think.
I was going to
We're
ask
also
how long are they usually like 10, 12 hours?
No, the campaigns are usually like maybe 6, if that.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stuff post campaign that is still all story related stuff. I think it's 34 parts of the campaign, but it's not all missions. It's like go here, do this, talk to this person. So they're all just these little pieces of this part. I
Tasks.
think it's 34 things you got to do. But yeah, we got through maybe a quarter of it. We're also playing on legendary, so it's just way harder. So it takes us a while, and plus the missions are just long. I think the very first mission was like maybe an hour long.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been fun. What they're doing with the story is it's incredible. I've seen a lot of people post that this is like one of, if not the
Nice.
best DLCs that they've done, and it's really Bungie in their bag. The game looks incredible. Just the story boxes, everything is just gorgeous. And of course, it plays great. Bungie games have always played great. Destiny has always felt great to play, and this is just like them on another level. So really making up for Lightfall and what they did with that. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to jumping back in, finishing out the campaign, finding all the rest of the story, the hidden stuff, and just really getting back into my Destiny groove. This is definitely a perfect game for me for the summer. So I'm just really excited to just delve back into that, get the clan back together, start trying to get together to get a raid done. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm very, very excited.
Nice. I have seen that it's been very positive. I was hoping maybe if somebody reviewed it, maybe I get that point. Maybe I could pick up on that point because I thought there was a lot of positive fanfare for this one. And I'm with it being
Yeah.
kind of like the last one in the saga or whatever. I expect there's
Mhm.
probably a lot of players that haven't been there for a minute, like returning. They're coming back.
Oh yeah,
You know?
definitely. So yeah, I think it was it was huge. Like it was a number one seller on Steam. Like Destiny was like the free to play version was number one on Steam, and then right under it was the expansion. So it's got a lot of people who have come back to kind of like see the send off for the Darkness and Light saga, and they really outdid themselves. I mean, it's great that it got pushed back because I'm sure that they needed that time to really polish everything. And it's just been great. It's been great. It's been really cool seeing like all of the content creators that like from the beginning like really getting back into and creating all the content and just seeing like all the excitement and the buzz around
There were
Destiny.
like
It's just
entire
always
channels
fun.
and stuff back in the day created for Destiny, like entire podcasts and things.
Yeah, there still are.
They're still
They've
going.
still been they're still going.
They've been
They
kicking
are
it this whole
definitely
time. That's
still
cool.
going. Yeah. The main dude who was the Lord Daddy, Bife, 10 hours. He did a 10-hour story of Destiny from Destiny 1 all the way to where we're at now. 10 hour. And it was a YouTube live premiere. And there were, I think, what was it like 400,000 people, or maybe it was 40,000 people were watching like
Wow.
on average, like just watching the story as it was premiering, and just so many tweets and so much just stuff about that, and realizing, oh my god, we've been playing this game for so long. Like this is the 11th
Mm-hmm.
year of Destiny. So
Mm-hmm.
like we've been around doing this for that long. Like it's crazy. I think about the fact that when I was playing this, my dog, I didn't have a son. Now I have a son. That's how long I've been playing this damn game. I was looking at a tweet that Paris Lilly had put out. His son was 8 when it started. He just graduated from high school, and they've been playing this game the entire time together. I'm just like, man, this game has really done a lot and been around for a lot, and also has created a lot of opportunities for people. There's a lot of people who've started their entire YouTube, their entire Twitch, all of their creative content all started with Destiny. So it's been really cool to see that. As Donnie's cat attacks him.
She doesn't attack me. She wants me to hold her, and I'm like, I'm not going to hold you. I'm a podcast.
She's like, love me. Show
No,
me
it's
love.
not that. No, she has this thing. It's weird. She likes to get into my arms and like be cradled. And that's like her thing. And she usually does it when I'm working at my desk. She'll come usually once or twice a day, and I'll hold her. But I don't do it with the microphone and everything. But that's what she wants. When I sit down, like she wants to come. She's like, "Oh, it's nap
Acknowledge me.
time. It's not
She's
nap
like,
time."
acknowledge me.
But it's
That's what
not.
it is.
It's not acknowledgement. It's a whole thing. It takes like 20, 30 minutes. There's a whole ordeal. She's got to spin around like 8 times. It's a thing.
She needs her attention.
But yeah, Jess, she's very petite. She's always been that way. She's super small. She's like the run of her litter. That's why my other cats is why they gang up on her.
It's messed up.
She's mean. Like she'll fight back,
Gotta
but
be.
she's just so little, like she can't, they'll just body her. Like so. That's why she has the basement. She's like the basement cat. She lives down here, everybody else lives upstairs.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, Destiny. It's great. I can't wait to get back to it.
Good times. Good
So,
times.
Question.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So Dev, for you, it seems like it's a lot more about the narrative for you than it is grinding anymore, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's always been about that.
Yeah, as I say, I think that's always been the thing.
I've never been like the one to grind. I'm a narrative based gamer. You give me a
You gotta
good
get those
story that I can
legendary weapons,
Yeah.
though.
disappear into. Like just the legendary weapons drop like candy. But I'm not raiding and grinding for like the perfect role or anything. I'm not doing none of that. No, thank
Right.
you.
It just so
Either I get it or
happens
I don't.
that the narrative you want to experience is in a live service game.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
got a great story. Like that's the other thing that I loved about Destiny. There were things that I could read outside of the game when I wasn't playing the game. So
Yeah.
as many people hated on the Grimoire cards being in an app, I loved it because it was just another way for me to engage with the content while I'm not playing.
It's
That makes
So like
sense.
I've got all the Grimoire books. Like they actually have released all the cards in the books as far as other stories, and I have all of those. Like I read that stuff. If they ever actually made comics or
Definitely
stories
age.
or anything, I'd buy all that and be all into it.
That makes sense for you. I don't like it. I'm one of those people
Yeah.
that make fun of it, but I think it makes you're very into like this, universe shared experience sort of thing. So that totally clicks.
It's
I
interesting
don't need it.
because, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't even need a shared experience. I can do it all by myself. I don't need people.
Well, I mean, like you can take it with you, and like
Yeah.
that like when we talk about that, like you're very much into the give me the video game, give me the movie, give me the podcast, give me the series, give me the comics. Yeah, he likes that. He'll just sit in the one thing the whole
So
time.
so do you. You
Yeah,
went and watched Twin Peaks
Well,
That
maybe that
was-
was
based
one
on
thing.
Control.
Yeah, that was like the one thing. I don't think that's the same thing at all.
But Donnie, you do with merchandise a lot of the
Yeah.
like. If you love a game, you're like, I want the art book. I want. If you really love a game, like it's in your
That's
upper
like
echelons.
if I really love the game, yeah. But I'm not reading no damn books. Like Gears has novels, and I'm not doing any of that.
Do you like to read though? Yeah, I
Nope.
love to read.
And people are like, "There's audiobooks." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not doing that."
I love
Yeah,
reading.
the time
I've
of
always
time
loved to
getting
read.
anything.
I'd
And I'm not
prefer
that
the book
into-
to the movie.
And like, I don't want everything that I have to have like a TV series or a movie or anything. Like, I'm very good with things having different things. Certain things like Twin Peaks isn't Control. Right? It's not Control the series. It's
Right.
just a very similar type of media. So yeah, I'm not one of those like everything has to be a universe thing, which I often make fun of Dev and Delvin for because they're very much
Yeah.
not just the Marvel thing. That's becoming lots of popular media today. Is everything is a universe. We've got the Netflix
I don't
series,
need
we've got the comics, we've
everything
got the
to
novels,
be
we've
a
got the game,
universe.
the movies.
If you give it to
we've got
me.
the whole thing. So
Yeah, I'm here for it. Like Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, fucking great.
Yakuza Amazon. I don't know if we have it in the news tonight, but
I didn't put that in the news, but yeah, we should
I
have.
completely forgot about that.
as a
Yes, yeah.
Yakuza fan, I saw some screenshots from the set. The actor who plays Kuryu looks incredible. Like I'm very excited to see what they do with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know Delvin's very excited. And that sounds ripe for a series. Like that sounds like that could be very good. Just like I'm sure the Fallout one is. I haven't watched that either.
Fallout was dope. I
That's-
don't
I'm
even
sure it
care
was.
for those games, but I loved that show. That show was awesome. All right, well, Donnie, let's get into this news.
Okay. So we did have the PlayStation State of Play the day after our podcast last week. Do either of you have any thoughts? We haven't had a chance to talk about it. I talked about it a lot on PlayStation XP, so if I can drop a plug, we have a PlayStation show. It comes out, I don't know, somewhat regularly. Like it's a monthly show,
It
but
comes
like
out.
you may get 3 episodes in a month or 2 or 1. Like we don't really know. You will get at least 1 episode a month. I think we can commit to that, and then usually more. I think we've had 2 in like 3 weeks. But we have a PlayStation show. It's called the PlayStation Experience on the YouTube channel. You can find it on the tap link in the notes. So if you want to hear us go through every single video game and everything, you can go check that out. So I've said my piece. What did you guys think about it?
I mean, there wasn't anything for me there, but I thought the show was fine. I thought the show was pretty good. I thought it was a cool show. There were cool
I
games
liked it
there
too.
for people who liked it, but there wasn't anything for me at all, honestly.
Yarden wants to hear what you think about Concord.
Oh,
It's a video game with shooty shoot bang bang. Looks a lot like Destiny PvP, to be perfectly honest. I see people saying Overwatch. The only part of Overwatch is the fact that there are characters, but the actual gameplay itself is way more like Destiny than Overwatch. But it's not something that I'm terribly interested in because again, it's just PvP. I'm still very confused on like who are you fighting against? Is it just all the crew of that one ship and you're just fighting each other? Are you fighting other crews? Like that was not made clear to me, and I didn't go looking for it, so I don't honestly know.
Yeah. I thought that, of course, Astrobot looked fantastic. I thought it was a
Amazing.
decent show.
Can't wait.
And also Silent Hill 2. I don't know. I saw some people kind of ratting on it. I don't know.
Not some people, a lot of people.
I thought it looked amazing. All right. I never
did
played
too.
the game, and it looks like, I don't know, Resident Evil remake tier stuff from what I can see, at least engine wise. I don't know. Maybe that's overselling it.
Yeah, I
But
think that is over. Like, it's not going to look as good if you put those two things side by side. And there's a very simple explanation for that. One of them is Capcom with a lot more money invested into these projects. And the other one is Bloober Team, who have licensed the IP from Konami to make the game. So, like, yeah, it's just not. It's not going to be like that.
But either way, I'm fun to play that game for the first time, considering how revered it is by everyone who's older than me.
It's a trippy. It's a different game. They often all get like lopped together, like the survival horror. Silent Hill is very trippy and different, you know. But it looks really good. I mean, it looks quality. I give it that. I have a lot of hope that was like put back into my logic on how people, because like the people that are hating on it, there are the regular haters, but like it is like that gaming Twitter crowd. They're the one, like the influencer gaming Twitter YouTuber crowd. They're the ones like, this looks like shit. And if you read any of their thoughts, they're all like, this looks like shit because it doesn't look as good as Resident Evil 4. And I had a lot of faith restored when I went to Reddit, because I've been in the Silent Hill Reddit for a long time, and all of them are like really excited. And they keep showing a lot of screenshots and like, this looks really good. I don't understand. And that's what it is. It's a different crowd. You know, and that's okay. That's their prerogative to have that assessment. But if you are looking, and I was thinking about this, I wonder if we'll ever get away, and I don't think so, because it's gaming, and gaming's going to gaming. Like, we've done this for a long time. This isn't a new trend. But I do feel like the way that we exhaustively research like fidelity these days, and like comb through things, like zoomed in like 500 times and slowed down to milliseconds, and you know, analyzing frames. Like, I wonder if we'll ever get away from the concept that like whenever a product is announced, it has to be the greatest thing we've ever seen to be decent. You know, like everything has to be better than the last thing. And it's like, no, it really doesn't. Like, yeah, that game was great and looked amazing. This game doesn't look as good, but it still could be really fun. That's not a take that like seemingly is allowed to happen anymore with like the way that we capture video games. You know, like if a game doesn't look as good, we're like, this is trash. It doesn't look as good as this other game that came out last year. It's like, that's not necessarily true.
You gotta blame the devs and publishers for pushing fidelity, and
that's fair.
It used to be about gameplay and fluidity, and then all of a sudden they were like, but we can make this look like this and turn down the gameplay and make it 30 frames. And then that's where we've been chasing this. It has to look a certain way versus the game needs to be fun.
It's Bloober.
So no,
like they're not that developer. I love the medium. I will still stand on that hill today. There's not many people on the hill with me. I absolutely loved that game. And I like what they do. I like Bloober Team. A lot of people don't. They're just not like, they're not Capcom. They're not Naughty Dog. They're not, you know, they're not on that level. They're like a mid-tier developer. They do mid-tier work. There's nothing wrong with that. That's admirable work. We need those games. Like, we need those games. We need those studios. We need people to make those. We need more games. So I don't know. I didn't want to shit on it. I think it looks very good. And I'm looking forward to playing it. I'll be playing it on PlayStation because Haley will be buying it. So
there you go.
Yeah, I get to play the
Haley
game for free, and then I get to pick up the Steam copy down the line for the cheap. I have not played a Silent Hill game in like a decade. The last Silent Hill game I played, I think, was on Wii, and it was Shattered Memories, a game I like a lot. I did play Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 back in the day. I can't even say, I don't think I even finished Silent Hill 2. I don't even know. I don't remember. I know very little about it. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I know there's like, I feel like it's like duplicates of people. There's the people, and then there's like the fake versions of people and stuff, and the story gets real trippy. If my memory recalls, and somebody can tell me if that's way off base, but like that's kind of like my vague memory from the days when I played,
back in my day,
when I played Silent Hill 2, guess what? Their faces didn't look anything like this. It's
right?
Way more edgier faces than people. But apparently people are like, this doesn't look good. I think it's because they just like made this one girl like slightly like chunkier. And people are like, this is egregious. I hate this. But her character is meant to be older. That's my understanding from the Reddit. They were like, she's meant to be like in her 40s. So this. Thank you, Mr.
Makes sense.
Hereford right there showing up. So there, see, I remember. Yeah. Been there.
I've never played a Silent Hill game ever.
It's just like trippy. That's why it was like really exciting that like that Kojima was gonna like that was a match made.
Oh, PT.
Like a match made in heaven was to give Kojima that franchise and let him make a game. Like a very trippy experience with a developer and a creator like that. Like that could have been the most hardest thing to follow shit we've ever played.
The Stranding on steroids.
I want bad shit crazy.
Yeah.
We can give you bad shit crazy.
Yeah. So but I'm excited to hear that you say that you were impressed, TPR. That makes me very happy because those are my takeaways. I'll shout out one more game. Unless are you done, TPR? You had other ones?
There was one, was it called Wings? I think it was an ancient Chinese action RPG that looked cool.
Where Winds Meet.
Where Winds Meet, yeah.
Dev, do you remember this game? Because we talked about it in the Discord. I brought it up on XP.
Yeah, vaguely remember it.
So the game comes out, it's in the trailer. The response to the internet is like another Souls-like. I'm like, it's not a Souls-like. Why is everybody saying that? Maybe it is now. When this game was originally shown, like I looked in our Discord because I was like, I remember this. Dev and I talked about this years ago, it was in PC Gamer back in 2021 or 2022. This was like that MMO Assassin's Creed game where like they were like, you can play the story or you could like become a merchant and like sell stuff and like do all this. And I was like, we were talking about it back then. It was a very different pitch, or at least when they talked about it in concept, it was very different than what the trailer was portraying. Maybe it's changed. It's been a few years. Maybe now it is a Souls-like, but when people saw it, it was like, that's a Souls-like. And I'm like, I don't think it is though.
I can read the website. I think it's more aligning with what you're saying, Donnie. Explore a land ravaged by war and territorial disputes where political intrigue, power struggles, and epic battles shape the course of history. Will you embrace your destiny as a young martial artist, uncover the secrets of your identity, and forge your own path in an era of boundless possibilities? Enter an unparalleled free open world.
Yeah, and it's not an MMO. I want to be clear. It's not an MMO. It sounded like they were trying to make something like that because they were talking about the time. They were like, you can rebuild the city, or you can like become a merchant, or you can become a trader, or you can actually go forth and try to complete the campaign. It was just very open and like this open world Assassin's Creed type thing. And then, they show the trailer and everybody's like, blah, blah, it's another Souls-like. I'm like, I don't think so, but I don't know. I'm very interested in that one as well. I'll definitely be playing that one.
It seems more similar to maybe a Witcher 3-esque experience than a Souls one. Yeah.
Ryan, you got to get on Threads, man. I would like to talk to you more often. I would like to show Ryan my PlayStation. I'll have to send you a DM. The other game that I would shout out is Dynasty Warriors, which was shown. The new Dynasty Warriors, and I thought it looked amazing. I can't wait to play that. That's the best Dynasty Warriors has ever looked, and they've never looked great. So that was another game, right? Like I've brought that up forever. I said that on XP. I was like, look, people don't realize like I've been playing Dynasty Warriors like this whole gen. They still look like PlayStation 3 games. Like Hyrule Warriors looks like some shit ran on PlayStation 3. Like this is a big glow up for Dynasty Warriors, like huge. So I'll be all in on trying to play that. But I like the show. I know a lot of people were less impressed or underwhelmed,
Yeah.
but I thought it was a very good show. And here's the other thing, Dev. Again, not to keep plugging PSXP, but I actually went to bat for Concord. When I saw Concord, I was like, this looks like a very good game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. It's definitely not a game for me. I don't play these sorts of games. But like the production looked quality, the gameplay looked good. I was like, this looks like a well-made video game. Sure, it might be derivative of other franchises or other game styles, but like that's nothing new to video games. Most games are derivative of other franchises or other things. So like for me to see the counter to like burning that game on, like lighting that game on fire, like I kind of dug in and became the contrarian there. I was like, this is unfair. Like we keep pitching about wanting new IPs and new things, and here we are, we get this, and you're all just throw your arms up and hate it. Like, I don't know.
I didn't understand it either. I thought the game looked dope. It looked great. It looked polished. It looked like it's gonna play well. I mean, I understand it. Maybe you don't like arena shooters. Then the game's not for you, but like, that's no reason to shit on it. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. And that's why I didn't understand all the ire against the show. I'm like, I saw so many people talking about it flopped. It was terrible. I'm like, is it because there weren't games that you were interested in? But the games they showed, most of them looked really good and looked really quality, whether you're into it or not. So I don't understand how that becomes a flop.
If that show was terrible,
interested in it,
then most of the PlayStation Showcase have been terrible, because I think that PlayStation Showcase was better than most.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's nothing there for me, but I still thought the show was good.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some other news. PlayStation VR 2, their PC adapter has been announced. It's $60, which I'm not surprised by. Obviously, I knew it wasn't going to be free, but I just feel like the state of PlayStation VR 2 right now, asking people to pay $60 to play it on their PC to plug it in is a lot. And then you read the fine print and you realize that all of the functionality of the PlayStation VR 2 is disabled when you use it on PC.
Yeah.
It's literally like just a viewer. Like you can't do, I wrote all down, you can't do HDR. It doesn't have headset feedback. It doesn't have eye tracking. The adaptive triggers don't work. The haptic feedback won't work. Like, what are we doing here? Just trade that bitch in.
Why would it? If it's not a PlayStation game, why would you expect any of that stuff to be there? It literally just allows you to play the VR
I think
stuff
some of the stuff
there.
you could expect to be there. Like I'm sure other VR games have haptics. It may not be on the same level, but I'm sure you could turn it on, you could use it. My thing is like, well, I don't understand why can't you just plug it in? Why don't they just release drivers to support it so you can just plug it in without buying an adapter?
Development cost. I don't know.
And then the other thing is like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, VR 2 has just been a disaster, right? Like, this has just been really, really poor.
It's not something I pay any attention to, so I got nothing.
Well, I feel bad because, like, I know, like, John, he likes it, and I don't want to take away from him liking it. It just really feels like, like, if you've bought into this thing, you've spent $500 or more to get in, you're not really being given a whole lot for it.
I feel like if you bought into it, you knew exactly what you were getting. Because
I agree with you there.
Sony
I think that's fair.
And you bought it because you like VR and you have a PlayStation.
And you saw it the first time. Like the example was there. We told Delvin before he ever bought it, we were like, you just saw what they did. Now they've done it worse with this one, but we did, like, the template was there. We knew if it didn't take off that they could pull the plug. We knew this could be a Vita type situation, and it's worse than that, but like it is what we thought it could be. You're right.
And I mean, now those of you who have a PC and you have PSVR, you can buy this $60 thing and go ahead and plug it in and play your stuff that's on your PC using your headset. So I mean, I still think that's great for somebody who has a PC that can run VR games.
Like Delvin
like
TPR in our chat. Delvin, somebody brought this up.
Yeah.
And we made fun of him because we know Delvin doesn't have a PC that can run VR games, but apparently he thinks he does. He came into the chat and told us we were wrong. God. I think he has a laptop or something he thinks he's going to run VR games off of. And
he let us know he was wrong, and it doesn't work.
No, he's going to plug it into his Steam Deck, guys. That's what's going to happen. All right, and then
Hey, look, hey, Ryan says he's getting that adapter.
Exactly.
He's excited.
Well, yeah,
Good.
Ryan.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. I think the people who actually enjoy PSVR and also have a PC that's capable of running it, it's like, sweet. I don't have to buy another VR headset. Now I can use the one that I have and play
Play
all
both.
of these other things that I've been missing. I can play Half-Life Alex now. So
Yeah,
I
you
think
can.
that is really what it is. It's about for those of you who enjoy PSVR, we now have this thing that allows you to enjoy even more things. To be perfectly honest, how much is a Quest?
Which one? So here's the thing.
The one that
Quest
plugs into the
2
computer.
Quest 2 was $99 today. I got an alert and I was like, "Oh man, maybe I should get another one." I think Quest 3 is $399.
Okay, because I'm just wondering,
Quest
like,
3 is the new one. Like that's the new cool awesome one, I think. Chat check that.
yeah,
$399, $499. I think it's $399.
yeah, I think this is gonna sell. This cable is gonna sell more than people think, just because
Really?
it's like, oh,
I
sweet,
don't
now I
think
can buy
I
this
don't
cable
know
and
that many
I'm
PlayStation
good
VR
to
used
to my
have.
PC.
That's
I don't know.
$4.99.
I don't think they sold a lot of the headsets to sell enough
Right.
adapters.
I don't think there's a lot of headsets, but I think they'll probably sell more adapters than people think. Like, that's the thing. I don't think
Like
it's just gonna
12
go out
or
there.
like,
30, about 35,
okay.
maybe 40, maybe
Dude.
40 on a good day.
Rob 3000 is about to do it. He's about to buy
I would
PSVR 2.
assume the amount of
Right.
people that bought PSVR 2 are mainly console players. That's the reason they bought it. So I would put the ratio probably like between 10 and 20% of the people that bought PSVR 2 might pick up an adapter.
Yeah.
Like it's a real niche thing, but I wish they would have turned on all the things. I wish you could have had the same experience on PC if it was possible. I don't know if it's possible.
I think
Make
what
a
will
good
have
one.
to happen is the developers are going to have to add that into the games. Like, that's the thing. It's going to have to add support for that type of stuff, because you don't even have like good haptics
But like
in
the
PC
headset
games.
tracking, the eye tracking, that's just in the headset. You know?
It is, but I think there's something that has to do with the games. Because, like, for example, when I used my DualSense playing like PlayStation branded games, the haptics are nowhere near as good as they are on the PlayStation 5.
On the
Like,
console,
there's
'cause
just
of
something
the
inherent to
development.
the console, yeah,
I got
that
you.
has that stuff.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, if you're excited for the adapter, we wish you the best. Speaking of Concord, due to an Australian listing, people are suggesting that it looks like the game could be $40. So pretty nice. And speaking of that, this is probably even a looser pool. To a Japanese retailer has listed Astro for pre-order. And if you extrapolate from that and do the conversion, it looks like Astro might be $60. And I say that like with a question mark because like it's a loose, we don't know. I'm just saying it could be. So those pre-orders go live in 2 days, I think. And it looks like maybe we could do Astro for $60. I'd be happy to pay. I'd pay $80 for it. I'll give them. I
You'll pay
was
100.
so excited, Dev, when I told you that I wanted to get it, that I believed in that this Astro was going to be the big game, and boy, was it! It looked incredible. Cannot wait. So very excited.
Like Astro, yeah.
You just deleted something. So
Yeah, it was the
moving on.
Destiny stuff that I'd already talked about.
Okay. So this was originally in the rumors. We hear rumors about this all week until like right before the show started. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 are on Game Pass right now. Like you can just go download and play them. I don't know if there was an announcement or whatever. I haven't been that plugged into the news today, but like I just got the tweet or the thread alert that I have set up for Wario, just Octopath out now on Xbox. So who knows? Maybe that's gonna be at the showcase, maybe not, but seems like a big deal. In addition to Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 being on Game Pass, which TPR did tell me it's going to be on Game Pass until at least January 2026, so it's going to be there a while. Octopath 1 hit PlayStation consoles for the first time today, and you can pick it up on PS4 or PS5. So again, your cross generations, generations mean nothing, continues to pay off.
I mean, Octopath Traveler can run great on probably PS3.
True. Yeah. I mean, it runs great on Switch. It's a beautiful game. Just not my sort of thing.
So did
Yarden
Part 2
says
come to
$80.
PS5
Don't give
already?
Sony ideas. If they give me an Astro edition with like a little Astro bot I can put on my desk or something, take my money. I'm sorry, Dev. What'd you say?
I was saying, did Octopath Traveler 2 come to PlayStation?
I thought it's already on PlayStation, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So the 2 came, but 1
Octopath
didn't?
2 came to PlayStation,
Yes.
but not the first.
Okay.
And
Okay.
both are on Switch, right? Switch got them
Yeah.
both,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then
That's right.
Xbox got the first one, I think, but not the second one.
Lord
Yep,
have mercy.
it's true.
What are we doing?
So
What are
now
we
they've
doing
got
here?
now they all have both. Now they all have both, and if you're on Xbox, you can play them in Game Pass. You have to buy them. So
Square Enix, lacking sales. When you delay this,
multi-platform, they're going
Yeah.
multi-platform, and there's the proof in the pudding. They said they're
Yeah.
doing the thing. Obviously this week we named the podcast the Combo for the Storm because this week our Summer Game Fest mess kicks off. So just a reminder that Friday we have the Day of the Dev Showcase. IGN Live kicks off. That's a 3-day event all weekend long. We have a Devolver Direct Dev Friday.
Yes, we do.
So we get to hear new Devolver stuff. Hopefully get a Plucky Squire announcement. They're unveiling a new game from the Hyper Light Drifter folks. They're unveiling a new game at the Devolver show. So please be excited. Saturday, Future Game Show and the Wholesome Direct. Sunday, the Xbox Showcase, which means
Sunday,
that we will be recording a podcast that evening. Probably theme it Xbox Empire or something, but we'll just go out on the PSVG feed and we'll have a podcast on the YouTube channel that evening, not like right after. We're not live streaming. We're like live reacts. We're going to do a podcast Sunday night. And then there's also a PC gaming show, which I've enjoyed the last couple of years, also on Sunday. And then Monday in their traditional E3 slot, Ubisoft will follow up and hit in there at some point. And like, that's just like the highlights. There's like 18 other shows that I don't understand, like the Future's Future indie collective developer on Mars Tatooine show and all that. Like, I don't even know that. I know, Yarden. I don't know if it's the timeline, but I messaged Dev. I don't think, Dev, you said like it didn't fit in your schedule and whatnot in terms of recording over the Devolver show.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the schedule. And I don't want to do it without Dev. Like last year I did it without Dev and it was great with Sean. It was cool, but I don't want to do it without Dev. And
It
so
was the same.
the tradition ends. Sorry. But we'll have the podcast for you. Speaking of Sean, look out for that. Hopefully it'll be really great. Some headlines before we get into a lot of rumors, because of course 'tis the season. The ROG Ally X launched. You can pre-order, you can order it. I think you can order it now. It's $800, of course. It has twice the battery capacity. So you'll go from like 50 minutes battery life to like 2.5 hours battery life for most games. And there's like, look, you can go read about all the different things. It's not that much different. It's the same processor, the same screen. It's black. It's got like some slight adjustments, but it's mostly the same thing. But $800. $800
For a better battery?
Listen to me. $800. Like I bring this up all the time. I would be furious if I was PlayStation right now. I'm like, how the fuck do they get to price things at $800 and we don't? Look at this shit. It's running our game terribly. And they're selling them for $800. So I wonder if PlayStation is there's lots of rumors. Maybe that's a big reason why PlayStation is looking to get into the portable game again. Because that's insane. I really loved the ROG Ally. I really did. $800 is egregious. That's absurd. That thing should be no more. Max $500. Like $500, $550 seems too much. $800? That's crazy
surprise me.
talk.
It makes perfect sense to me when I think about just how much computing costs, just how much it costs to build a PC. Now you're giving them a handheld. It's not the size of a laptop. Now it's a handheld device. It's a boutique product. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, I know.
It makes perfect sense.
I couldn't recommend anybody doing that. This came out last week, I think, but we didn't talk about it. IGN reports that Take-Two is looking to sell off or potentially close Private Division, their indie label. And I hope somebody wants to acquire them. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think they will, but that's a bummer.
What games do they publish?
Take-Two closing anybody just makes no sense to me. Y'all got more money than God. Stop playing.
That's true. That's 100% true. Let's see here. Games archive from Private Division.
Outer
80s,
Worlds?
Ollie World.
Wow.
The Outer Worlds, Kerbal Space Program, Disintegration, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that would suck.
Disintegration. That was a great game that never got the chance today. That sucks.
Kenna, Bridge of Spirits comes to Xbox in August. So you can finally play an awesome game. And I wish everybody to play it immediately, like as fast as possible. It's one of my favorite games that I've played, quote unquote, this gen. So I love Kena. I own it on every platform it's available on, and I will own an Xbox copy of it as well. Yacht Club Games will have a 20-minute presentation on the 14th celebrating 10 years of Shovel Knight, and that makes me feel incredibly old.
I remember when they first showed off Shovel Knight. I saw it first at a PlayStation experience. And yeah, I cannot believe that it's been 10 years. Jesus Christ.
I'm sure they'll have some sort of Shovel Knight announcement. I don't know. Shovel Knight's amazing. I haven't liked their spin-off titles nearly as much, but who knows? We'll see what Yacht Club has in store. Jeff Keighley told folks to temper expectations for Summer Games Fest. I'll go ahead and read off in the rumors chat we had. He said not to expect Silk Song and don't expect Wolf Among Us 2. And I think the quote that was going around that I saw on socials was he was saying the show is an 8 out of 10. So he's just trying to, it seems like he's trying to cool folk, like, yo,
Like, everybody just chill. We're just
chill
going to show
out.
things you already know about for the most part. It's not going to be anything crazy. Let's just show up and celebrate gaming.
Have some fun. What is that? Is that Friday? I think is the show. Friday is his show. I didn't put it down in the.
It is Friday.
I thought it was Friday. So Friday, we'll find out what he's got going on. Should be fun. But yeah, if you were I was hoping for Wolf Among Us 2. I thought it was going to be there, to be honest with you. I was like, it's time, but apparently it's not. So
This game is
forget about it for a
coming
while.
out.
Yeah, it might be like it just feels that way, doesn't it? It's like, man, what are y'all doing?
Pretty soon it's going to be in the same realm as Beyond Good and Evil 2.
It's getting there. We are right there. Like, if this thing doesn't come out by the end of next year, we are in Beyond Good and Evil territory. All right, so some rumors. We have a couple from Billy Coon. I don't know how to say it, but he's got his blog and he's got a really good track record. This isn't official, but he said he thinks Metal Gear Solid Delta could have been delayed to 2025. So
I know that saddens you, sir. Sorry.
If this week comes and goes and you don't see it, that would probably be my expectation. Like, okay, I was thinking it was going to be in the PlayStation show, and when it wasn't, I was like, okay, this starts to check out. Maybe it will not come out this year.
Was it dated for this year? Or was
it was dated for this year? They did say it was going to be this year. He also says that the Last of Us 2 PC port has been ready for at least 7 months. He says at least 7 months, according to folks that have been playtesting the game. And they say that it's really super polished and hopefully will be much better than the port of the first game. But who knows when PlayStation release it? That's their prerogative. Probably 18 months from now, based on their current track record.
Whenever they feel like it.
Well, that's the good thing about
milked it enough here.
The cool thing about their
PC.
porting studios is that they've got these two studios that like just take games that they already have and they port them, and they can just put them on the shelf and leave them there. And PlayStation can essentially just treat them as free marketing. They can pull them out whenever they want.
The Nintendo thing with remasters.
Yeah, we'll drop the God of War in the trailer whenever we need it. So I think that's pretty good. That's smart plan.
I'm curious to see if Nix's is working on the second game, given the issues with the first porting studio, Iron Galaxy, I think it was.
Yeah. The 2K game that has been so long rumored for this weekend at some event is more and more looking like it could be Borderlands. Again, a rumor, but the current trend is people are like, it's probably Borderlands, and that probably makes sense. Mafia was always a stretch. I thought it was going to be Borderlands or Civ. It has been a long time since Civ 6? What are we on? Civ 5 or Civ 6? The last Civilization. What was the last one? 5?
Idea. Civ 6. So 2016. October.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like when I read that, I was like, it's been a minute, but it looks like it's going to be Borderlands. That makes sense. Don't they have like a show or a movie or something coming out soon?
There's a movie that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know, soon. I don't know if it ever actually got a date.
Maybe
it's
not
just
soon.
There's a Borderlands movie.
It makes sense.
At some
Borderlands is Borderlands. It's going to come out and do more Borderlands stuff. So, already talked about this one. It looks like one thing you can expect probably at Jeff's show is the Alan Wake 2 DLC. That's being strongly hinted at by various, threads and outlets. This one's interesting. This one comes from Jeff Grubb. Dragon Age Dreadwolf won't be there, but Dragon Age will, which makes me think Dreadwolf has probably been renamed.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
thought
what
it
I
was
think.
remastered. Yeah.
That's what I
Is
think.
it-
People are maybe it's a
I
remaster
thought
or
that
something.
meant a remaster. I'm like, can y'all just
Maybe it
finish
is.
the one?
I think
Like-
it's been renamed. I think that's where I would go. I think Dragon Age is coming out. I think that because Jeff has been pretty clear for like a year that Dragon Age was coming out this fall, and I've always said Jeff's sources at EA are like top notch. Like he has been really on the money. And I say this, somebody who's followed him, he was the first one that ever told me that like we were getting another golf game. And to hell if he was not 100% on the money. Like he's got real sources there. And I believe him. So I'm going to continue to believe. And I think they've probably just renamed it. And I'm just wondering if like Dragon Age reemerges as something else or, you know, rebranded or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see soon enough. A couple days. I would expect this to be, I think he was talking about the Xbox show. Maybe it's the Xbox show. I would expect it to be a Jeff show, but maybe it'll be an Xbox show. But apparently we should see some Dragon Age this weekend at some point. And who knows when it comes out. When I say, as with all things, when I say coming out, like I talk about like this season, I think it'll come out in this fall. And for me, like that quarter, that gaming window I'm talking about, September to February. It'll be somewhere in that window.
Yeah.
I expect Dragon Age will come out. He also mentioned that he expects back compat will return. Puts in a little caveat there. May not just be Activision.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Could be back compat Bethesda games, back compat Xbox games, back compat other studio games. So like when you say Xbox on back compat games, everybody goes, yeah, they're going to put Call of Duty in there. Maybe a bit more than Call of Duty. Who knows?
When you say back compat, I think that means that you can just put in the old Xbox games and they work.
Well, actually, that is how Xbox's back compat does work. You can grab an original Xbox disc for games that are supported and put the disc in and play.
Right.
But it has to be a supported game.
They're not all just supported.
They're not all supported.
Like,
you can't
how
play
many
every Xbox game. There's a good bit. There's like hundreds, but not everything. Like you can't grab like an Xbox disc of I don't know a game. I'll say like Spider-Man 1 or whatever. You can't grab that and put it in there. It has to be in like an approved list. It has to be like, you know, so but it looks like they're going to drum up some sort of back compat stuff. He says they expect the show to be 2 hours long with over 30 games. That's a lot.
That's a long show.
It is a long show. Although by like old Sony E3 standards, that's not long, right?
Those shows,
Their shows were super long.
Because you also had that whole like the bit where they put in all the numbers and all the crap we don't care about. So
the
2 hours for
live performances,
games. It's like,
remember they used to talk about like, oh man, I get so nostalgic for like old E3 stuff. I know we always do this, but you remember they used to talk about like they talk about like their Sony music service.
Yeah, man, nobody wants to hear about that crap.
You remember Phil Harrison coming out and talking about PlayStation Home and shit? Like it was the shit we used to
break time,
man. That's like my hope for AI. My hope for AI is that it's all of that shit. Like this whole AI craze is just groove music again. And like in years we'll look back and be like, that was some stupid shit, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is, but that's my hope.
2 hours. Oof.
This has been making the rounds, I'd say the past 48 hours. There is some speculation. I don't know how credible it is that Xbox might tease a handheld. Like have some sort of official, we're doing the handheld thing.
As long as they don't charge $800, let's go.
Well, that's true. $800 is a killer, I think. I wonder what that means. Do they just like show a silhouette of something and be like, we're working on it? Do they say like we'll have it's launching next year? Like what do they mean by that?
Surface Mini. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
what won't piss off Xbox people?
Or the other people that hate Xbox. We talked about this, right? I think the Portal is a natural way to go. I don't think they're going to go that way. So like the question is either they're doing their own or they're rebadging somebody else's. Now there's like 8 of these devices out there right now, right? There's like
20
8,
more coming. There's
like 8 allies. There's the Claw, and there's like the Zontac that just came out, and then the Ally. So I'm like, do they just grab one of these companies and they're like, we want to take your thing, mold it, put our own launcher on it, and call it ours, and we'll license it. You know, like I'm expecting them to potentially rebadge one of these, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
man,
was
D-Live
also a bunch more, I think.
He's in whatever price.
Of course he is, because he thinks it's going to stream, and it's probably not going to be what he wants.
$800? You would buy an $800 Xbox handheld, D-Live. That's insane, Daniel. I do think partnering with the ROG Ally makes sense. I could totally see them being like, this is an Xbox Ally, sense. And we did our own launcher that you don't have to work with Asus on, and if it's $800, that's crazy. And then the last rumor before we get into the Rude segment is that there is a rumor going around that Xbox will shadow drop a first-party game. When this first happened, like when my immediate reaction was like, I would do that with the Phoenix collection. Like if you're going to do Gears of War like remasters, I was like, well, these are old games that are already available, that are already enhanced. Okay, you shadow drop them. But then I started thinking about it, I was like, well, that actually doesn't make sense. Gears is a huge franchise. They probably would have some sort of collector's edition, probably have some sort of Lancer and controllers and shit. If that's true, they probably want to market this. So I don't think it'd be Gears. I think it'd be something much smaller. I don't know what they could be. I've seen speculated, maybe Killer Instinct, maybe like a live service game, maybe one of their second party projects like Towerborn, or all of those things. Maybe.
What about Halo on PlayStation?
Yeah, you think they just shadow drop that? They have a PlayStation shadow drop the day of.
That would be
Hellblade on PlayStation. Boom. Just do it.
That'd be great. I'd be here for that.
TBR, any thoughts on first party shadow drops?
Not really. I'm not really in tune with what. I don't know. I don't got
nothing. Jeff made the case for Killer Instinct, and I think that makes some sense. They've been talking about wanting to do Killer Instinct for some time.
Oh, a new KI?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a new KI would be awesome. I love KI.
I don't know who would do it, but like if they were going to do it, shadow dropping something like that would probably give it the extra bit of buzz that like an announcement of it coming a year from now probably wouldn't have. So like that makes some sense. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I'll tell you this.
Seems like an odd time to do that. Like, why not do
2 hours of show? You got to do something. Like that's a long time to keep people's attention. So
something with Gears. I mean,
and then they have the Call of Duty show after that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, they have a Call of Duty Direct like after their show.
Wow.
So you'll do the.
Why is it not just baked in? Why?
Because then it would be 3 hours.
It's essentially it is.
But it's a different show.
You're telling me that I'm going to get 2 hours of an Xbox show.
Yep.
And then another hour of Call of Duty.
I don't know how long it's going to be, but there is a dedicated Call of Duty show after, like a Call of Duty Direct.
Wow.
I'm interested to see if they address the Tango thing at all. Like, how would you handle that? Would you just not talk about it and just keep moving?
What is there to address? What is there to address? It's done. Like,
yeah, so you just keep it moving.
What do you say? We're sorry we closed Tango, or we love you, Tango?
No, actually, it'd be nice to hear them saying that. They really haven't said anything at all.
I feel like that just would piss people off more.
Probably.
Because then it's like, why? Yeah,
but I think if they don't even acknowledge it, then I think people are going to be bringing it up. They're going to bring it up either way. And you know what? To your point, they're going to do it either way. They're going to bring it up.
So I would just not say anything. What is there to say? It's already done.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I actually have a couple ideas or an idea for Shadow Drop. Okay. I think maybe 2 or 3, maybe not 3, but maybe 2 of the old COD games at once. Either do that during the Xbox show or during the COD show.
So let me talk to you about that, because Sean and I have talked about this on Sweet Hangs extensively. When they acquired Activision, my take was you drop a Call of Duty a month for like a year.
Right, I agree. Just do a little more this time because it's the initial.
The idea behind that was you keep everybody playing like the one game. Right. So like you kind of get people in and you're all like, this month we're doing Black Ops. Next month we're doing Infinite. Next month we're doing Ghost. Okay. Now that they haven't done any of those games, I've actually changed course. And I think you make a play to like reestablish Xbox as like the home of Call of Duty. And I think like the major announcement that like creates waves and makes buzz and stuff, I think you put all the Call of Duties on Game Pass like that day. And you go, the next Call of Duty 6 is coming to Game Pass this November, and every Call of Duty is available on Xbox, right? Because I feel like that's like the graphic. That's like the screenshot that you can share around Twitter, socials to like reach people. And I think that's like the elevator pitch. You know, like Xbox is the home of Call of Duty. And I'm not expecting that people are gonna switch or anything for that. But like if you're marketing and you're trying to like organize your content to like make waves, that's what I would do. I'd put all the titles on the little splashy screenshot and be like, day one on Game Pass, you can subscribe to Game Pass right now and you can play all of these Call of Duty games. But we'll see how they do it.
Does that? I'm just wondering, is like putting all the old Call of Duties really generate any kind of spike in sales? Like, I'm very curious because
I have
feel
an
like the
answer
people
for
who
that.
Play COD.
I have an answer for that.
Already moved on.
I have an answer for that. If you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Last year, Xbox magically turned on all of the multiplayer servers for the old Call of Duties, and traffic and sales spiked for every one of them. There were so many people that started playing Black Ops to Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and stuff. So I do think, you know, as much as old games could sell, I think they would sell. Yeah.
So did they shoot themselves in the foot by doing that? Because now all the people who were looking for that already bought it?
Maybe. But it being in Game Pass is still an announcement on its own. You know, because now you don't even have to buy the game. Now you can just play it. Especially if like, what if they're enhanced? What if that's the reason they haven't been put on Game Pass yet? What if they've actually been going through and making updates to any of them? I don't know. I don't know if they are or not, but like, I'm of both minds, TPR. That was ultimately the point. I think you could do it one of either ways. You could say like, hey, let's string this out and let's have a constant Call of Duty conversation going, or dude, just shock and awe. Let's throw everything we can right here in this one chance we have people to make an impression. Let's try to make the biggest splash possible. Ahead of, you know, the big news obviously is that Black Ops 6 will be day one on Game Pass. So it's like almost like an appetizer for that. It's like, while you wait, you can play every Call of Duty ever right here. I think that's a marketing slogan I think is pretty easy to sell, right? And that's something you can pitch around pretty easily.
I think you put them all in there because otherwise it's like I could subscribe or I could go find a
right,
copy
yeah,
for $2. So you got to just throw them all in.
Here's all of it. Like, yeah, make a moment out of it, right? Make an event out of it while you can.
And include the remasters, like of the Modern Warfare games, include those.
Yeah,
in there. Yeah,
and on PC too. So that's another thing is that they turn it on for console, but they haven't. So do that too. Like, try to get as much of it as you can while you can. And yeah, so that's the news. That's all the news that I've got for this week.
All right. Let's get into these questions in the Rude Day segment. So Rude Days doesn't have any cute things or fun things to say to us today. He just gave us straight over-unders. So he says, over-under 93.5 on Delvin's favorite game, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. The original Elden Ring got a 96. Donnie, you're in the lead. You got to go first. 93.5. Yes, you have to. 93.5. Over under on this DLC that apparently is bananas.
I'll take the under.
Taking the under. Interesting.
It's like I'm taking the field. Does that make sense? Like, I'm going to bet the house.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm going to go with the over just because I feel like it's probably going to get a 96. People freaking love this game, and all of the stuff the little buzz that I've seen, it's like a whole new Elden Ring. So, yeah. Even the file size is rather large for a DLC when their games are typically pretty small. So I think it's gonna do big. TPR, your points get to go to Delvin. Over or under?
I think it's going to be under. I look at all the past Souls DLCs. I don't think I've seen one that went over 93. on OpenCritic, Metacritic. So just from that, but I think it's still going to be great. Just not quite 93.
Yeah.
Okay. Over or under 2.5 of these 4 rumored announcements or trailers will be shown at the Xbox Showcase. A rumored handheld announcement, a Gears Trilogy Collection announcement, a new Fable trailer, and a new Perfect Dark trailer. Over or under 2.5 of those being shown.
There was a lot of talk last week that Perfect Dark would make an appearance. I still don't think that game's anywhere near coming out, but apparently it might show up again. I don't want to, but just based on all of the evidence that we have, I'll take the over. But I don't feel good about it. But I'll take the over. It's 2 hours long. They got to fill it with something.
Bunch of old stuff coming to Game Pass.
That's going to be like 10 seconds of the 2 hours. Like,
Nah, they're gonna go into detail for everything coming.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel good about this because like this Gears trilogy thing might just be vaporware. There's no evidence to suggest that this exists. I don't expect Fable will be here because Fable was there last year, and I think they want to give Fable some time to breathe. But I would love to see Fable again. I would love to see like a 2-minute gameplay trailer of Fable. Like no frills, no cut. Like just, you know what I miss, Dev? I want to see somebody fucking walk out with a controller and play the game. That's what I miss. Like, why can't we just go back to doing that?
Yeah,
I don't need all this production and shit. Like, I don't need to be trying to decipher what's real and what's not and in-engine. And like, just have somebody come out, grab the controller, start playing, and you zoom in on the screen they're playing, and I'm good. Like, that's what I want to see. That's what I would love to see from Fable more than anything. But yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'll take the over.
I'm gonna go with the under, just because
I think that's
it's
smart.
Xbox.
I think it's smart.
Yeah, we're going with the under. That's a lot of stuff, and yeah, I don't feel like we're gonna see Fable. I feel like this Gears trilogy thing has been floating around as long as the Metal Gear Solid remake that has not come to fruition.
Longer.
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah, so
it's been a long time.
Nah, I don't buy it. TPR, you gonna buy that for $1?
I think there's going to be a handheld announcement and the Gears Trilogy announcement. The question is if I think there'll be a new Fable or new Perfect Dark trailer. Yeah, my cat has something to say too. Shh. I'm thinking. New.
If you think Trilogy is there, then I would tell you to take the over because I think Perfect Dark's there.
We'll see. The show's.
I'm on the one where I don't know if Trilogy is real. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't. Not that I don't think so.
Well, he said Trilogy Collection. I was thinking more remastered Gears announcement. If they remastered,
I think those are the same thing.
Well, if they, for example, if they remastered them in separate entries, it wouldn't necessarily be a collection yet. Like if they say
we'd have to go to the root. I would suggest that you would still get the point for that.
If the Gears 2 remaster they announce, you count that?
I would. Maybe the root wouldn't. I would. Like if they announce like they've already remastered Gears 1. So if they come out and they say we've remastered Gears 2 and 3, I think those are the same things. Even if they don't go and we're going to sell it as a collection. What do you think, Dev?
I kind of agree with you, but it's really going to come down to whether or not Root does this.
Yeah, we do respect the Root. My thing is you don't remaster 2 and 3 to pair it with 1 if you don't turn on all of that multiplayer again and do the Halo thing. So like if they're going to remaster Gears 2, you might as well do 3 and do the whole damn thing. You know, like it doesn't make sense just to do that. So and my whole thing, I've been on the fence as to whether or not we even want this because the old games have been they're X enhanced and they're so good.
But 2 and 3 are not on PC.
That's it. It's a PC play more than anything else.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, they're going to make it a trilogy and they're going to put it on PC for that very reason. So yeah, I think if they are doing it, I think that's the only reason they're doing it. It's for PC.
I think I'll take the under on this one. It's a toughie.
I think it's smart.
Yep.
I'd be more hopeful than anything else. I should take the under. I should switch just so I don't lose the point. But
you got points to spare, sir. You got lots of points to spare.
Yeah, I'll be different. It's fun.
Playing with house money.
I'll take the I'll take the crazy one.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have the segment. We'll find out the answer to some of these questions very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question time. Stingray X says, if you could bring back a gaming peripheral from the past to be revived and improved, what would it be and why?
Bring back light guns.
Yeah, okay.
100%. They're not the same on controllers. They're just not. They're better with motion controls. They're awesome. And I miss kind of on-rail shooters. They're great. It's a fun thing that we used to have, and they've all just gone away. We just don't do them anymore. And I like them. I like them back. And like when I first started gaming, I liked it. And I liked it in arcades. I liked it on NES, and I liked it on the Wii and on the PlayStation 3. Like, bring back light gun games. Give me another light gun. Like, how awesome would Splatoon be? You know, like I miss the Resident Evil Chronicles games and shit like that. Like light guns. Light guns are cool.
I'll just let Donnie have that one because I've never had any peripherals other than Rock Band guitars.
Bring back Duck Hunt, you motherfuckers. Do Duck Hunt, you cowards.
Duck Hunt.
I'm thinking.
Link's crossbow training. Fuck yeah.
Crossbow training was cool.
It was so good.
Oof.
You know, screw it. Why not? PlayStation Move. Let's see some motion control PlayStation games again. Well, we guess a PSVR 2.
Yeah, VR is that.
Yeah,
that's what the controller does that too. So
all right,
that's
true.
How
about Wii balance board, Switch balance board? Let's see it.
Okay, all right.
Mario Surf. Used it as a balance board tech demo.
Pikachu surfing.
See it? Nah, man. Bring back TNC surf design. Screw Pikachu and Nah, man. TNC surf design. Let's bring that back. If we're gonna do that, bring that back.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. It was not the same with the gamepad. That was terrible.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
I need a zapper.
There you go. Light guns and surfboards. That's what we're bringing back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have one more thing because I have nostalgia for it. For Nintendo consoles, the Action Replay. Do you guys remember? You guys remember that? It's a cartridge, or in your Wii it was an SD card you could put in, or in your DS it was a cartridge, and it was basically your Game Shark for your Nintendo DS.
Shit, really?
Oh, you mean the Game Genie?
No,
the Game Genie.
I always called it Game Shark. I was a Game Shark kid.
Well, Game Shark for Game Boy. I think Game Genie for the NES.
I never played any of those on NES or Game Boy or
the DS equivalent
Wii.
Was Action Replay. You could give yourself like 9999 rare candies in Pokemon, or 9,999 Master
That's
Balls,
crazy.
Or Mario cheats, or unlock this, unlock that.
I didn't even know you could do that. You're blowing my mind here. That is awesome.
Action Replay.
I only did the Game Shark on PlayStation. It was just the memory cards. Anything you could insert the memory card into. I didn't know you could do it on the.
So the Action Replay would go into your DS, and your cartridge would go into the Action Replay. So it would be a nested
Game Genie was
setup. Yeah,
that makes that makes sense.
And they had one for the Wii too. You put it in the SD card slot.
Dude, the Nintendo handhelds are like full of that Frankenstein snap-on shit, where you could just like add all these components to it and make the damn thing like 8 pounds heavier. Like, here's the battery pack and the light, and it's like, why don't you just make the damn console? Like, you got piecemeal it to us with all these different attachments.
Yeah, it was great. 100%
a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Cool.
Free to Play Joe says the hype is building up for the weekend. I'm excited to see new games. How hyped are you for summer games announcements?
I'm like lukewarm. It's not that I'm not excited for the games, because I am, and I do think they're going to be very exciting, like when we actually see them. Because I think this year's going to be pretty good. I think Assassin's Creed's going to show out. I think Dragon Age will be there. I think there'll be a couple other that are going to be there. Star Wars. I think we're going to have a pretty awesome second half of the year here. You know, somebody asked me this on Threads too, and my response, or they didn't ask me, they generally asked, they're like, hey, Xbox gamers, how do you feel about the show? Are you excited? And I was like, I can't help but feel like reserved, or like almost like the word I used was like protected. Like with all the news and all of the missteps and the delays and the cancellations and the closures and everything, it's just like, I don't know. I can't feel myself being too over enthused right now. Like, I'm sure that'll probably change when I see Gears. and I'd be very happy to see Gears. And even with that Gears hype, like I still don't know if I can't like unseparate that, unlink that. You know, like just because they showed an awesome new game doesn't mean everything's great again, I guess is more or less like how I'm feeling. Like I don't want to let the hype of a game or a couple of games take away from how we actually are. Like, because that's kind of how, at least online, it seems like folks are maybe starting to, oh, they're just going to show a game and everything's great again. It's like, yo, not everything is great, and they got to fix that. So that's kind of where I am. I'm somewhat lukewarm. Like, I think generally, as my name precedes me, eat the hype. I generally this time of year would really try to bring the energy and get people going. And I think this year, in the last 10 years, might be at my lowest. If that's to put you in any, like, I'm still excited and will be excited when I see the games, but there's a lot more to it than just the games.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of in that same camp. I'm just like, okay, I'm here. I'm probably not gonna watch very many of the shows. I will probably watch the highlights, and I think it's just I'm in a place where I am just tired. So if something is announced, it's cool. I'm excited for it, but to be perfectly honest, I'm just like, just show me what you got to show me. But there's no real hype going in. It's just more like, without E3 kind of pulling it all together, it just doesn't hit the same. There's 37,000 different shows, so it's just like I'm just gonna wait for somebody to put something out that excites me, that I can be like, oh, that looked cool, and then talk to somebody about it. But otherwise,
it isn't the same.
Like,
I agree with you. It's not the same. It's really not. But I am excited. I think the Ubisoft show will be really good. I think the Xbox show will be really good. I don't know about Devolver. Devolver show last year was good, but not like Devolver good.
mm-hmm.
You know, like there's Devolver, there's like good, and then there's like Suda 6 good, and that's like Devolver 6 good. Last year's Devolver show wasn't Devolver 6 good. It was just good. So we'll see.
PPR?
Yeah, I guess I'm not as excited to watch the show as I was in past years, but I'll be excited to read all the like I get genuine enjoyment going through the chat channels in the Discord, seeing new link, here's what was posted. And like in real time, people going through, here's this, here's that. It's fun watching other people's excitement and seeing the announcements on a list. So I'll be excited to scroll
and I
through
will
and
be
see
in the
what else you guys
Discord.
know.
I don't think I'll watch. I don't know if I'll watch the Jeff show or not. It depends on what I'm doing. I don't even know what time it is. Depends on what I'm doing on Friday. But I will be in the Discord for the Devolver show, and I will be in the Discord for the Xbox show, and probably the Ubisoft show if I can be. I'm not taking off work, but if I can have it up on a screen while I'm working, I'll be there too.
Yeah.
We're just getting too old.
Legit.
Right?
Like
I don't want to speak for you, TBR, but like I do kind of feel like I'm like, it's kind of like maybe a younger generation's game at this point. It's like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Now I'm working.
To follow. I gotta work.
I'm working full time. Like I'm morphing. Like I'm in that intermediate stage now from recent.
You were where we were like 6 years ago. You're not there yet, but you're getting there.
so it's like I am getting tired. Like I'm trying to do. I think I have other interests that are growing that aren't just video games. Like I don't think I'm as invested in following gaming shows I am now as I was a couple of years ago. Part of the reason is I make so much content around games now. It's like I already cover so much. It's like if I do more, I might burn myself out. So like I have to straddle that line.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. But
yeah, and there's too many damn shows. It used to be like there were 5.
We need an agenda and a rubric and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You had the big 3, EA and Ubisoft. Like that was really what you were looking at.
Right. And it was all
now it's 37 shows.
Yep.
And the shows, again, to your point, you say like you had the big 3 and Ubisoft, but Ubisoft and EA are massive compared to like the 19 other shows that we get now. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of shows full of games that I don't want to say, I'm not going to demean them at all, but like they don't make waves. They don't have a lasting, like people don't notice them. They don't see them, you know, like there's a bunch of those games. And I do watch them because every now and again I find something in there that I really like Cookie Cutter and things like that. Like I still watch them. Like I'm going to watch the Future Showcase because last year's Future Showcase was awesome. But it's hard to keep up with it. You can't possibly watch all of them and then report back on the 1,000 games you saw that week. You know, so yeah, it's difficult. It's tough.
Yeah. All right. Tyler says, I got the best marketing idea for Xbox. Listen up, Phil. So we got Lego Mario, right? Well, the best way to advertise a new Banjo-Kazooie should be Lego. The worlds and characters, Gruntilda's lair would look so sweet. It would print money. What do you guys think?
I think PlayStation beat them to that punch by all accounts and purposes.
I've never played a Banjo game, so I don't even know. Like,
I'm just speaking of, there's the widespread rumor for the last month that PlayStation is primed to announce a Lego Horizon game.
Yeah.
So, and that might be something that happens this week. Who knows? We'll see. But I do think, no, I take this back. Lego works for Banjo because of nuts and bolts. Like Banjo, they made Banjo nuts and bolts, and it had like a creator thing where you could create cars and stuff. It was very like almost like Breath of the Wild. It had its own like little physics and fusing system, and that totally could just be Lego. You could just do that. Now, does anybody care to buy a Banjo Lego game? Rebecca and I talked about this recently, and I'll just take her opinion because she probably knows more than me. I was asking her, I was like, what do you think Banjo would do like if they announced a Banjo game? I was thinking in my head, I was like, could it do 3 or 4 million units? She was like, no. She was like, maybe a million, which kind of surprised me. But she might be right. I don't know. I'm not in the Banjo like demographic, but I think she might be more right than I am. You know, like Metroid didn't sell as many as I was thinking. And I'm like, that probably has a little bit more cachet than Banjo does. I know that there's a Banjo community. I know they're devout, right? They're fervorous. They want something, but like, how big is that community? I don't think it's that big. And like, and you think about applying something to like Lego, how casual, wide reaching is an IP like Banjo? Like, if you see that on a shelf, like how many kids want to pick that up to play? I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
So
I
think a platformer makes more sense. Just a standard, good old fashioned platformer. Just do that with Banjo.
Yeah. And if that does numbers, then maybe we talk about Lego games.
Yeah. Like what they did with Crash like 4, do that with Banjo, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I'm thinking about other Lego stuff that could be cool that they haven't done yet. I don't know.
Halo?
Seeing what like Halo or Gears, these more gritty franchises that are, what I'll call M-rated, bringing those over to Lego could be some fun comic relief.
I think Halo Lego would be fucking amazing.
Especially for new generations. You want the Xbox FPSs to cater to the new gen, make it Lego.
If you have like an open world kid shooter that's Halo,
yeah,
you're all like little, Spartans running around and you can break into bricks and stuff. Maybe have like a little battle royale or something. I actually think that could do real numbers.
This is it, Xbox. This is how you become Nintendo. All right, Lego everything.
Well, they tried that with Forza, and it was awesome, actually.
That was awesome.
Lego Forza was dope.
That was awesome.
The Lego Forza. Huh?
I don't think Gears works, but I think Halo does. I totally could see a Lego Halo game. That does work. But of course, Fortnite would just like put it in Fortnite. Fortnite is like Kirby. It's just like consuming the industry. It's just sucking everything into it. We're about to get like Tetris Fortnite, right?
What? Why? No. I don't want to get killed by the T block. That's not cool.
Everything's just becoming Fortnite.
No. I resist that. That's just the worst. Damn Fortnite. It's ruining everything. Smokeless Joseph says, what are some of your favorite NBA Finals moments?
Blocked by James. I mean, come on.
Every time Boston has lost is definitely up there for me. Every time they've lost in the finals.
Especially to the Lakers. Like, it makes it even more, it's more sweet.
1,000%.
Yeah.
2013 Ray Allen Game 6. And I think they were in Miami at the time.
Yeah, they were. I hated that one. I liked it much better when the Spurs just played the Heat right off the floor and won that one. That was like a big boy. That was such a great exclamation point to like their dynasty. When they were like, yeah, we're old and shit, but we're just going to stomp this team one good time. I was like, oh shit, that was really great. But it's like, to me, it's not like a moment. It's just, they were really good. Like Ginobili was insane. I'm trying to think of a moment. As he says moment? Yeah, moments.
Yeah, moment. Jordan just changing hands. That is one for me that I'll never forget. Yeah, that was great against the Lakers. That was beautiful. Let's see.
Oh God, what's his face? Can't remember his. I was gonna say Rozier, but it's not Rozier. Oh, who's the Mavs guard when they went there, when they were in the finals against the Heat? The guard.
Jalen, no. They were in the finals against the Heat. Jason Kidd? What?
No.
Jason Terry.
Thank you, Jason Terry. I was thinking Terry Rozier, but I'm thinking Jason Terry.
Jason Terry.
When he just came up across half court and splashed that 3 in LeBron's face. LeBron's face, man. He walked right up to the best player in the world and just dunked it on him. And likewise, very similar shot when Kevin Durant did the same thing with the Warriors. Like the series was over. Those were big momentum, like we're better than you shots. Like we're better than you moments. I think of those when I think of the finals.
Jordan also hitting all the threes against the Blazers and doing the infamous.
Yeah,
that's another one
good.
for me for sure.
It's very good. The Cavs I didn't even watch in real time. I couldn't. I was going to have a heart attack. I was losing it. So I watched most of those games on replay because I couldn't stand it. Those are some.
Imagine
that was an
getting swept
series.
by Houston is another moment for me because Shaq just got destroyed by Hakeem.
That's true. That was like my first finals series that I really remember as a kid getting into and starting to watch. Was that one and the Bulls and the Jazz? Remember that steal that Jordan got? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good series.
Yeah. Trying to think, is there anything more recent for me?
Do you remember the great rock fights between Detroit and San Antonio?
No.
Mouse in the Palace? Or was that not even the finals
Not
yet?
even
That's not the finals.
That
That
was
was just
a regular ass game. This is a regular ass day in Indiana when players are beating the shit out of fans and stuff.
Ron Artest, my man.
Ron Artest was minding his business.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was Jermaine O'Neal.
He was just laying there, just minding his business. And then a fan threw a beer on him, and that was a wrap.
Delvin somewhere was like, "Get him! Like, Delvin is an agent of chaos. We talked about this before, right? Yeah. He loved it. I was like, you can't love it. He's like, he's so Miami.
He thinks it's wrestling.
They're so Miami in him, and he'll come off he'll act like he's proper, like he's above it, But then the moment you give him the chance, he's like, "Fuck, I wish he stabbed him." You're like, "What?"
Delvin.
But he is that. It's in him. It's in his DNA. It just comes out. He's like, "Get him."
Yep. Speaking of Ron Artest, the 3-pointer he hit in 2010 saved the finals for the Lakers.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a good one.
Thinking, you already have blocked by James on the list. 2017, 2018 finals were boring.
It's not even that finals. It's the Kyrie shot for me. Blocked by James is the call. That shot by Kyrie was filthy. He shot offhand. He dribbled offhand and did it. Oh, that was nuts. It was so good. Yeah. It's like a fake pump fake. He switches hands and they're waiting for it to come back to his shooting hand. He fakes, and then when it gets caught, then he just releases. And it's all one motion, and just best shot in Cavs history.
You know the clip on Team USA when he crossed up Kobe in the back, Kobe, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Carmelo Anthony all in the same play in a Team USA scrimmage.
Kyrie's that dude.
Yeah. In 2012, he was a rookie.
You see what Drew Holiday said about him?
Mm-mm.
They asked him what's your game plan against Kyrie? He just said pray. This is like the best on-ball guard defender in the league.
Yeah,
pray.
Kyrie is that dude. It's all about it's just all a matter of Kyrie. Kyrie might be the most, I want to say talented, because talent and skill, he might be the most. He's the most
skilled player with a ball.
He's the most gifted player. When he's on and his head is, when he's interested in playing basketball, it comes so easy to him.
Mm-hmm.
The things that he does that look routine blow other players' minds. It's so difficult to he is equally able to shoot with both hands, to drive to both floors. He can cross you over both ways. He can spin, he can shoot off balance. Like, I know that sounds like a thing that most players cannot do.
Most players cannot do that.
They
The
cannot
stuff that
do
he
that.
does
And
is absolutely
then,
insane.
isn't he undefeated in closeout games?
No, they lost. They lost to the T-Wolves. That was his first. That was
That
his first
first one.
game.
So he's like 13-1.
Mm-hmm.
He's hit so many game winners. He also has, like, he sneakily has that clutch gene.
Not sneakily. He has that clutch gene.
Yeah, but like, he's not known for it. It's not like his reputation. He's not like a closer in people's minds. But in his mind, he's a killer. Like, when he's right, he's like, I will send you all home. Like, Kyrie thinks he can beat like 1-on-5. Kyrie's like, I can just beat the whole team.
That's the sad part. He's that dude.
He is very, very good. Like, when other players look at him and they're like, how does he do that? And not like regular players, like LeBron and Kobe and shit. They're like, how does he do that? And the thing is, I don't want to demean him or anything, but like, he's not known as like that. Like, LeBron's a machine every day, work out 3 times a day, all the time. Like, any of his teammates are like, the guy never stops. Like, he puts in the effort and the work to get anything he gets out of it. By all accounts, Kyrie isn't. Like, it just kind of comes to him. Like, he works and stuff like everybody does. I don't mean to demean him, but it's not in the same level that like the greats do. And you almost wonder if he had it like that, what he could be, because like, he just kind of is like that dude that rolls up onto the gym and just starts throwing it in from everywhere.
Right.
Like, what?
Sneakers unlaced. Like, he looks like
it's very easy to him. It comes very easy to him when he's interested.
Yeah. Just ridiculous. Last moment. Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue. Just gotta throw it out there.
Very good.
Because that was great.
As a resident Sixers fan, how could I forget?
It's probably your only moment.
I hated watching
your lifetime.
Those Philly teams. Love watching AI, but those Philly teams were brutal to watch.
Dev, you're correct. Because I wish I was around for Dr. J, but I don't get that privilege.
Dr. J, Barkley, yeah, you weren't around for any of the good Sixers. Just Iverson and whatever the hell they are now.
Dikembe, Eric Snow.
God, that team was great.
Hey.
Was it Dallenberg for a minute? Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
I don't know about Dallenberg. There was the Andre Iguodala era in AI's late prime. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Was that his prime, or was his Golden State time his prime?
I'm saying
AI's
at the end of AI's prime. That was also
at the end
prime.
of AI's prime. That was Iggy's prime for sure.
Yeah.
That was Iggy's prime for sure. He was like old man. He was like old vet with Golden State.
Perfectly casted, though.
Perfectly casted, absolutely.
Perfectly
but I wouldn't say that was his prime.
Playmaker Iggy with weapons was.
Iggy was an all-star when he was
a
with
big
AI.
problem. He was a real problem
2011.
out there in Golden State for a while. He was really destroying teams.
Mm-hmm.
He also had a great transition from athletic to veteran defender, mastermind,
passer,
and passer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved it.
Absolutely. All right,
Miss AI. He was crazy good.
Dope.
Yeah, just if he had if he had got to Melo earlier, or vice versa, like if he had gotten a wingmate earlier, really could have done some damage.
Or didn't face the Lakers in the finals.
And when the league, for a moment there, the league was like, right after that Lakers run, the league was ready. Like, it was prime for somebody to come and take it. That was his time, right? But the team just wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was out there with like 4 bodies that play defense. And as a Cavs fan, I understand the feeling. We also had Eric Snow and Daniel Marshall.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say, I look at those teams, I'm like, how the hell did they make it to the finals? And I'm just
Larry
like,
Hughes.
How did LeBron make it to the final? It was just LeBron, because, you had scrubs.
We had Z, Larry Hughes, Daniel Marshall, Ira Newble. Yeah, I remember those teams.
There's no reason for that team.
That first team that made it, and it was 08.
Got swept by the Spurs, They had
beat the Pistons.
No purpose. Right.
But Boobie Gibson.
Boobie. Oh, God. Yeah.
man.
Ridiculous. Kyle the Pug wants to know, does the Michael Penix Jr. situation in Atlanta hurt the former Washington Huskies star QB for the next 4 years behind Kirk Cousins' 4-year contract? Or does Penix Jr. get time to learn being a backup for Cousins?
All right, hold on. This guy's name is Penix.
His name is Phoenix.
Yeah.
How hard has this been drilled into this guy's? How much people made fun of him for this? Or
I have no idea. I would doubt it. If you see the guy, he's probably bigger, stronger, faster than everybody he's went to school with. I wouldn't go try to make fun of that dude.
Maybe that's what gave him motivation to.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck did you say?
Yeah, if anything, people were saying it behind his back and not to his face.
Right.
And he probably didn't care because he was that dude.
Yeah. He was awesome. I remember when the Buckeyes played him, he started at Indiana before he transferred to Washington. He's kind of a one-man wrecking crew in Indiana. To answer the question, I don't know Kyle the Pug, but here's my general take on just your question, because I don't really follow the Falcons a whole lot. I like Cousins. I think Cousins is a good quarterback. Contracts don't mean shit in the NFL at all, ever. They can move teams and move cap and get off of it and trade, and like, who gives a shit? I will tell you this. Michael Penix has been an often injured player multiple times. I think he's had multiple surgeries and stuff. It might be good to let him ride the bench for a couple of years and train and see if he can just even withstand the training. And then also, if he sees the field and starts lighting it up, like every team in the NFL does, they will ship off Cousins for draft picks to whatever team wants him to next. So I don't think it's going to hamper his development. Did it hurt Rodgers to sit and learn? Like, does it ever hurt anybody to sit and learn? I don't think it ever hurts.
Nope, not
anybody
even a
to sit
little
and
bit.
learn. I think what
Especially
hurts
quarterbacks
is when you throw them out too soon. That's what hurts the most. Like that kid in for the Jets. Like that kid they drafted, just threw him out there.
Right.
I think that kid is, I've seen him throw the ball in real life. That kid is really talented. He's very good. And I don't think him out there trying to win on national TV with the New York media and everything breathing down his neck. Yeah, I don't think that did that kid any favors.
Not at all. Not at all.
Is he the BYU kid? I forget his name, but he's got a cannon.
I don't remember his name, but
he's got an arm, man.
Jimmer
he
Fredette.
can really sling it around. What'd you say?
Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer Fredette.
Wow. That's a name. Oh, speaking of a name I've heard of, do you remember Chase Budinger?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know he's on the Olympic men's volleyball team?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
came across I was like, what?
Talk about a transition. Like, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think Penix will be fun. I think Cousins will be fun. You know, watch Cousins go out there and win 9 or 10 games and nobody will really care. The Atlanta Falcons.
He does that all the time. He goes out and
Falcons fans
wins
will be
a couple
hyped.
of games and then loses in the playoffs. Just another season.
Falcons fans
and he'll
will be
put
hyped.
up crazy numbers. So
I like Cousins. I always have.
I do
I
too.
liked him in college, and I think he's underappreciated because of that.
I agree.
Yeah, like he goes to the playoffs and people are like, he sucks. It's not he sucks. You can't win it by yourself. Football, more than anything, you can't win it. Like he is pretty good. Maybe not amazing, maybe not the best ever, but better than most.
Yep. Tony Romo is a great example of why you can be great and lose. That man would go out there and throw for 500 yards, 700 touchdowns, and they'd still lose. Somehow the defense would find a way to lose the game. Like, this is like the team sport. You have to have both sides of the ball
Zach
working.
Wilson. Thank you, Smoking Joe. Yeah, Zach Wilson. He's good.
Yeah.
But thrown out there way too soon.
Yeah. TPR, I'm not answering your question. I'm not asking your question. You're here. So we're going to save that for another time.
I asked this before Donnie said he wanted to do the show tonight. So there you go.
Jay wants to know, how many copies do you predict Astrobot will sell on the PS5? If it sells for 70, how many would it sell on the Switch if it sold for 70?
If it's sold on Switch, if they put it on Switch, it'd sell 10 million copies. Because that's like the barometer for good exclusive game on Switch. Like, if Nintendo makes a good game, how many 10 million or more games have Nintendo sold on Switch? There's like 25 or 30 of them.
You know how starved people are for new 3D Mario.
Yeah, like they literally have Nintendo on Switch. They have like 25 or 30 Spider-Man 2s. They have multiples of them, like just dozens. By the dozen, they're like, yeah, we've got games that sold this many. What I forget the numbers. We ran them, I think it was the month before last. Mario Kart has sold like 60 million copies. It's absurd. Animal Crossing has sold like 40 million copies.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild has sold like 35 million copies. It's insane. What Nintendo does with first party software is unlike any of the competitors. You can't compare PC games, Sony games, Xbox, like nothing does numbers. Dev, I think they sold like 10 million copies of Ring Fit Adventure on
Jesus
Switch.
I could see that because of the pandemic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the Switch being the Switch. Yeah.
Like Ring Fit Adventure has sold more than the entire franchise of Metroid combined.
That's ridiculous.
On one system as an exclusive.
That's a travesty.
Ring
It's,
Fit?
it's blasphemous. That's egregious in so many ways.
Ring Fit is 15 million. New
15!
Super Mario, and you know what's ahead of it? New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, 17 million.
Of like a 7-year-old game has outsold Spider-Man 2 by margins, by a large.
The crazier part is that none of these games are discounted.
No, yeah,
Super Mario Party, the bad Mario Party one
Bad
on
one.
Switch is 20 million.
See, so Astrobot would at least get 10. I've got to give it that. Astrobot would get 10. On PlayStation, I don't know. I don't know what Astrobot's market for. I will go 4. Do you think we get a 4?
I thought 6, 7.
6?
I'm going with like 2. You know, it's just you guys.
Let me look at what's the highest
everybody's
PS5
like
selling games.
the packing game got a full game.
I got Wikipedia up. Spider-Man 2 at 11 million.
See, that's the thing. Every time I remember, I always have to correct myself because like the other companies, they don't sell games like Nintendo does. It's not the same.
Nope.
Like you can't compare them to.
Ratchet
Like if
and Clank.
PlayStation sells a game that sells 5 million copies, that's a pretty big deal. Like that's a good deal.
Yeah, Astrobot's gonna sell like maybe 1 million. All right, because again,
I think
people
more
will be
than
like,
that.
"Oh,
Definitely
the
more than
packing
that.
game is getting a full game. Okay, that's cool."
That hurts.
Like, it's this the reality of PlayStation.
So I don't think 6 to 7, like I said, maybe around like, I don't know, 2 to 3, because Ratchet and Clank
on-
Rift Apart was 4 million.
On the PS4, these are old. On the PS4, Days Gone got to 7, Bloodborne got 7.5, Uncharted Collection got to 9, Ghost of Tsushima did 11, and I don't know how long ago this was.
Tell me what the platformers did.
Ratchet and Clank did 6.5.
Wow, that's a lot more than I thought it would be. The 2016 movie one did 6.5. Yeah.
I wonder what
Italian.
did Little Big Planet do?
That's a good question.
That might be the most. Little Big Planet 3 sold 5 million units.
I give it 3 to 4.
Sackboy's Big Adventure sold 1.2.
Yeah.
This is my
And that's
point.
the sad part. I brought that up on XP. I think maybe somebody sold something because I remember on XP, I remember when Sackboy released on Steam, it sold in the hundreds of copies. I remember that story. Like I think its first month it sold like 600 copies on PC. It was like egregiously low. Like nobody bought that game. And that's
It's
a
like
shame.
this is like the Metroid of PlayStation. Everybody's like, it's great, but nobody's buying it.
Yeah,
So,
PlayStation
again-
3, I mean, PlayStation 4 sold how many units? 100 million consoles, something like that? And it only sold 2 million copies of Little Big Planet 3 the entire generation. So, yeah, if Astro could do 3, it'd be really good, probably.
Yeah, I'm giving them 1.5.
I hope that, so my caveat, my dissent to your point, maybe in a year where they don't have a lot of other things to sell, maybe that number gets inflated a little. Because they don't have a Ghost of Tsushima or a Days Gone or Last of Us, right? Like this is the game. This is the game. Like you can
Is
get,
it though?
Yeah.
Third parties, man. I
I know,
don't think
but
people are
you know what I mean.
I need this
There's-
first party thing on my
there's still
PlayStation. There's just
Party
other
gamers
stuff.
out there that like really care about the first party.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see what it actually does because again, I
That should
have
be our
zero-
over under from Rude Days. Is over under like
Don't give him ideas.
2 million?
I don't. I'm trying not.
if
to
it was
hear more
over
about
under
Astro
2
Bot.
million, would you take the over or the under? I would take the over.
I'm taking the under.
What do you got, TPR?
That's
Over,
more.
under
That's
2
more
million.
like spite.
Yeah, you just hate
over
it.
under 2 million for Astrobot.
You know what's so funny? Sorry, yeah, TPR, but hey,
So I
so
think
I was
over
talking
2
to
mil.
Snurts, and Snurts
Over
was
2
like,
mil.
I don't understand who could look at this and be upset or like angry by that this. I was like, I can tell you who.
Yeah, I
He
remember
works
hearing
here. What the
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah, I think over 2. I think Astrobot can do over 2.
I think so too. I think Astro can go over
Also,
two.
it's going to be the start. No question, it's going to be the start of a new 3D platform franchise for Sony. I think this game has an opportunity to lay a foundation for a second game that could double the sales.
I'm so excited for Astrobot. It looks so good, guys. It looked incredible. Dev, did you see the Parappa bot?
No.
It was
Yeah, the
awesome.
Parappa the Rapper bot.
Yeah.
I'm
In the
sorry.
game.
I hate Parappa.
Oh
So
my
the fact that there's a
God.
bot just
There was
I
Drake
hate-
bot.
game
Did you
is
see Drake
so
bot?
Yeah,
stupid.
Didn't you like PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale?
It was cool, yeah, but
This
is
not
like-
Parappa. I'm
There's
here
never
for
been a
Kratos
PlayStation
and-
game that has more mascots in one title since then than this.
Donnie, how do I feel about mascots?
Hates him.
I don't give a fuck about a mascot.
The Philly
Like, I don't-
Fanatic.
I
He hates cutesy
care about-
things. He hates mascots.
I don't care about any of
This
that
game
stuff.
is
It's
a
just not for me.
celebration of everything that PlayStation has been for gaming. Is what this
Yeah,
game is.
it's awesome.
That means absolutely nothing to me.
This is
What?
This
Dev,
is who I
I don't-
podcast with.
it's been
I-
integral for you for the past 10 years, if not
This is who I
more.
podcast with.
Yeah, it has been, but I don't care about the mascots. Like the stuff that I like on PlayStation is not like the stuff that they celebrate. I don't care about
That's what
Astrobot.
it
I don't care
represents.
about
It
mascots.
represents all those memories. All the little...
No, it doesn't.
Not his
Because
memories.
I don't really
Come
care about
on.
Drake like that. I don't care about Uncharted. I'm here for Ghosts. I'm here for
There's
Spider-Man.
probably going to
I'm
be
here for
a
God of
Gen bot.
War.
That's going to all be in
Astro
there.
Gen.
That's cool. I don't need to see it in those games. I don't need to see it in
Oh my
Astrobot.
God.
I don't care about the cutesy stuff in any way, shape, or form. I'm fine that it exists. I don't care about it. I don't want to hear
My
about it.
retort,
I'm
it's
gonna
not just
mute it.
cutesy. It's there's going to be creative stuff they do with it too.
I don't care. It's still a platformer.
Yes, it is.
Do you
It's
see?
awesome.
This is what I deal
I
with.
know. I said I don't
Gentlemen,
care.
This is what
Like,
I deal
I'm
with on a
just
weekly basis.
not interested in any way, shape, or form.
Oh
Just
man,
not that
I hope
into
your
it.
son
I'm-
wants it. I hope your son really wants the game, and he's.
Dad
It's
will
not
never-
gonna matter.
he'll never see it.
Yeah, because my
He'll
son
never
does
know.
not play my PS5. He is only allowed to play a PS4. The PS5 belongs
man.
to Dad.
I hope he gets excited about Sackboy and then sees Astrobot on YouTube
He
one
does.
day, and he's like,
he
"What's
has
that?"
Astrobots or Sackboy's Big Adventure. He's played a little bit of that. Didn't really like pull him in. So
Okay,
I might need to play
he
that
did.
next.
He really did like Little Big Planet 3. He played a lot
Little
of
Big
that.
Planet was really good.
Yeah, he wants
I
to
would love to-
create. So
I
he
hope
did
we
all
get
the
more of
creative
those.
stuff.
I think with Sackboy's Big Adventure selling so terribly, I don't know if we'll get another one.
oh,
No.
But for me, I think that makes sense for Sony to keep licensing out. Like if they just want to have an ongoing relationship with Sumo to like make a Sackboy platformer every 5 years, I think it'd be a good thing. Because whether it sells well or not, this is the point I made on XP. I think it's important for PlayStation to have games like this that appeal to the family, to all ages, to younger players. Like not everything can be a 30-hour HBO epic about a dad losing some child on some depressing story.
Yeah, it can.
Like you need
Yeah,
a
it
little bit
can.
more than that too.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll be an aging demographic. You have to replace
I'm
those games.
already an aging
Right, but
demographic,
you
and
have
I
to
don't
replace-
care
they
about
have
those
to
coming
replace
behind me.
you and me with new players.
They don't have to. They can die
And
out
I
after
think-
I'm gone.
I think things like Sackboy and Lego Horizon are the entryway to get people to play actual Horizon and other things down the road.
and Astrobot.
And Astrobot, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I've muted Astrobot. I'm so tired of hearing.
Like,
about
how did
this
we find
damn
each other?
Bot.
Dev, how do we find it? Like we've so
Trash talk.
We
It
are
was the
so-
trash talk.
diabolically opposed to each other, like on almost every opinion. We are
That's why we
literally
found
like
each other.
Wilbon and Kornheiser. Like we could
Mhm.
not be like different. Like it's the same thing.
You would post something in the Emergency Games forum. I'd talk trash, and vice versa. It just works. We don't have to like
He's like
the
he
same
hates
things,
all these
but it
things.
works.
And here I was like, they're making an Astrobot game and a Lego Horizon game. I need a PlayStation. I need a console. It's time to be back, baby. Can I get a Mod Nation Racers and a Little
Oh,
Big Planet? Like,
God.
let's fucking go.
No.
Dad.
Nation Racers.
Bring it back.
That was a great arcade.
Let
game.
it
So
die.
good. So
Kill the
good.
past. Let it die if you have to. I'm just no. But yeah, I'm happy for all of you people who will be playing your Astrobot. I just
Game of
don't
the
want
year.
to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it.
Game of the year.
It's a game coming out this year, all right. Ken says, if you were to suggest a game and a PS version to a PS newbie, what would they be? So giving somebody a PlayStation console and a game to somebody who's never played PlayStation before. Which
We have to pick
console
a
and which
specific
game?
console? Okay, so which console and which game?
Yeah.
Okay. I would go PS4. I think it's PlayStation's best console, and I would do The Last of Us Remastered on PlayStation 4. I still prefer the original to the remake. Or not the remake, but like the souped up PS5 version. We talked about this when it came out, but the original version, though, and it's like the remaster and the original version, they're cartoonier or like artsier than the new ones are more realistic in all the models and everything, right? I kind of preferred it when they were like the older look, and I kind of like it that way.
I mean, one easy answer is PS4 God of War 2018.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a PS5 and Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut because you can play all the old stuff
Very good
on the PS5, and this game is incredible.
So I just realized we haven't talked since I got this PlayStation. All right, so a couple things. Today, Jack set down my PlayStation because I had to leave. I had to go across town. So I was like, hey, I'm going to be gone for a few hours. It's going to take me 2 hours to get there, 2 hours to get back. I was like, do you want to play Spider-Man? He was like, yes. So I sat him down, started playing Spider-Man. And as he's playing Spider-Man, he goes, so this monitor that you have, my LG TV that he goes, is this going to make all the games look better? And I was like, yeah, definitely is. He goes, so would Ghost of Tsushima look a lot better on that? I was like, 100% it will. It's going to look 1,000% better. He's like, so should I replay Ghost of Tsushima on the console? I was like, probably.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to, you probably should.
Did you play the DLC yet? Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's been playing it like nonstop. You'd have to check my Steam profile. I don't keep up with him like that, but he's been playing a lot on the Steam Deck. And he keeps telling me like he's on YouTube. He's like, yeah, I got it to like 42 frames a second. I was like, that's sad. But like he's really digging that thing. He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
Director's cut. Yeah.
But when I unboxed it, Dev, and I unboxed it and I set it up and everything, and he came home from not from school. He was at I forget where he was. Anyway, he came home and he came downstairs and I was like, yeah, I got a new PlayStation. His immediate, he sees it and he goes, when did they get so small? When did they make the PlayStation 5 so little? And I was like, well, Dev on the podcast says this is the same size. He was like, what is he smoking? That's insane. It was the day after our podcast. I was like, I was dying laughing. I was like, I got to get you to talk to Dev.
We can talk about Ghosts. Like,
he did this. He goes, the old one was like this. Like he started making these big hands. The older one was like this big. He showed it to the TV that I have the 42-inch monitor. He was like, the old PlayStation would have been just as tall as the monitor.
The apple does not fall far from the tree.
I did nothing. I played no part in this. I was just observing. I was observing.
You played all the parts. You're his dad.
Does he listen to the show?
Wonder. He doesn't. No.
Well, he must have overheard you at least once when you were recording, talking trash on it. No question.
You've talked about the size of the
rule it out
since the beginning.
But I will tell you this. I'm very keen on trying to let him have his own opinions and me not do them.
Yeah.
So, for example, oftentimes we don't share opinions. Oftentimes we're opposed. Like oftentimes I'm really teasing him. Like I'm teasing him about Ghost of Tsushima a ton. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a Shadows, like the good version of like I'm constantly fucking with him, about stuff like this. Like, because I like him to have his own, and I tell him often, he'll come and ask me. Like there are times he'll bring a question. I don't have an example, but I think you guys will understand what I'm saying. He'll come to me and be like, what do you think of this game? And like I can almost think of
this. Yeah.
I can almost tell that like either his friends don't like it or whatever. And instead of answering, I'll just be like, what do you think about it? Like, it doesn't matter what I think. I want you to be your, form your own opinions. Don't. Who gives a shit what your friends think? Like I sure as hell don't give a shit what my friend. I don't give a shit what Dev thinks.
Yeah. Vice versa. Like
I
we
live
don't
that
care.
way, so I
Make your
like
own
that.
opinion.
He told me the other day. I was talking to him about He told me the new Fortnite season isn't it. I don't know what that means, but he was like, "Yeah, it's just not that great." And
they all aren't it.
he told me that he was playing I forget, Firewatch or something. He was like, "Yeah, I think it's coming back around." I was like, "Did it ever go away?" I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, when did Firewatch not become Firewatch?" I was like, "When did Firewatch not become cool?" And he goes, "Like, just my friends, like, I'm trying to get them into story games because I like story games." He's like, "But they all just want to play Fortnite." Like that's his group. Like they just play Fortnite and Sea of Thieves. Like they just do these service things. And he was like, "Yeah, the new Fortnite isn't hitting, so we're looking for new games to play. Like, what can we play as squads and stuff, or play together and like focus on
get
stories."
Ghost of Tsushima.
Helldivers 2?
4-player mode.
Yeah, you could do. I don't know if Haley has Helldivers, but we could. Now that we have the PlayStation, we definitely could do that. I mean, he could always play it on PC, I guess. I told him to play Far Cry because he's got a buddy where they play a lot of co-op together.
Far Cry 5 co-op is so fun.
And like do co-op together. But he's been playing. He just started like the Batman Telltale series. He loves the Telltale games.
It's cool.
He loves like the very like rich narrative games. Like he came to me. He's realized recently that he loves like narrative like walking sims, which the apple doesn't fall from the tree. Here's the funny thing. He doesn't know that I also really like these games. He has just like found these. And I was like, "Oh, if you like that, you should play like The Walking Dead." And he played and he loved him. And he played the whole series. He just like got lost and just did nothing but that until it was done. And now he's playing the Batman ones and he wants to do The Wolf Among Us. And, and every now and again I'd be like, maybe you should try like Edith Finch. I don't know. I hear it's good, and stuff like that. But I try to let him find his own way. But it's very fun. It's very rewarding, I guess. As I try to be, because here's the thing, especially with teenagers, if you tell them something's amazing, they won't. Hate it. Exactly. Yeah. So you gotta have to let them think they found it on their own. So you just kind of give them a little pitch here every now and again. Like, I don't know. I hear on this podcast they say this game's good, and they're like, it is good. Like or like the Ghost. Like he wants to play Ghost, and I'll shit on it, and he's like, it's amazing. And I'm like, well, of course, I know it's good. But like,
So he hates Astrobot, right? Based on you loving it.
I don't think he even knows what Astrobot is yet. Honestly, I don't even think he even knows it's a thing.
Good.
You know what? No, I take that back. He did hear about it because when he saw the PlayStation, he was like, "You heard about the new Astrobot game, didn't you?" So he knows me very well. So yeah, somebody in his group apparently told him about it. But yeah, he doesn't. He gives a shit. He could care less about platformers. He doesn't care.
Oh, I love this kid.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's never even played Mario Wonder, and he does not care.
This man, Jack, justice for Jack. He's great. Give him all the things.
Give him all the things. He wants a damn Lego Deku tree. So
I'm surprised you don't.
$300? You out of your damn mind?
I didn't know it was that expensive.
It's absurd.
Never mind. Legos
and by the way, I don't know.
Expensive.
Rebecca asked me, is it? She says Deku. I always said Deku.
I've always said Deku.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea because
Deku. Is it Deku, or Deku? How do you
we'll
pronounce
never
the Deku
know
tree?
Because they're not voiced. So who knows?
I'm gonna keep saying Deku
listen.
Tree. But after hearing it, I was like, am I doing this wrong? Because I don't know anybody else that says Deku tree.
I don't either. I've always said Deku, but
yeah.
Deku. Yeah, see, I think maybe I'm on the outs in this one. This might be a SNES situation.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, there are a lot of people
moving
say
on.
SNES.
SNES.
Yeah, you're one of those people.
He's one of the people who have it right. SNES, get that shit.
It's a SNES, man.
No, it's not.
It's like you're about to sneeze. That's why I don't like it.
Oh my God.
God bless you.
Gazoo tight.
Speaking of spending $300 on Legos, Big Nick says, is there a game that you would pay an exorbitant amount of money to be able to play it a month before its official release?
I think all games should do this. Most games. I think games should charge a really big price for like reviewer access.
Sure.
Like,
I personally wouldn't, because I don't want to play the broken version.
You get like the 3-day early access thing. I think games should be like, look, we understand how important content creation is and everything. If you want to play this game the same time the reviewers from IGN does, so you can have stuff prepared for embargo or beat it, we're selling the game today at $150.
Here's the one big possible issue I could see is in terms of spoilers for people who were just on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're just trying to, either you can't afford to, or let's say you can't afford to get the game, pre-order it, and then a lot of the spoilers of the story are floating around on social media.
Sure.
That could be a big, tough thing for a lot of people to deal with.
You're right. But how is that any different than when the game releases for $70 and there are people that can't afford that?
You're right.
But
and here's the thing: if you don't want to be spoiled, you just have to stop looking. Like there's
that's no on you not to be like that's a
right.
Once it's out to protect you from that.
Once it's out, there's
it's true.
You just have to tread lightly. Thank you, social media. Before
I think
you didn't
like
have
with
to worry about
with
that.
YouTube and Twitch and stuff, I think there's a shit ton of streamers and stuff that would love to get in early on like a big game. Like, hey, Assassin's Creed, all the reviewers have it today, and in 2 weeks, like the embargo's up, and I think you should, like, if you want to pay a super extra to get the game, I think it's a way to raise the game price without like raising the price of the game.
Please
like
charging Yarden's content. I like what Yarden said.
Easy way to make up for those margins. These poor companies on the verge of homelessness. That's fair. Would I pay extra money to play something early? Not just to play it early. No.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't either. Mainly because I don't want to play the broken version of it. I want the finished day one patch version.
Well,
of
the day one patch isn't going to be the fixed version of it either. Starfield, you're looking for the 3-year patch.
Well, first of all, that's a Bethesda game that does not count.
That doesn't count. Those
games are never ready.
No,
but like Stellar Blade,
they're still
day one patch,
Skyrim,
fantastic. Yes, exactly. So I wouldn't do that because no.
I'm trying to think, is there a game that I love so much that I would like? I'm sure I would pay for early access, but like strictly just to play it early, like I don't think so.
Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
I think maybe if on the other side of the story coin, because I'm like that spoilers sensitive guy, if I could just if there's a narrative based game I'm really looking forward to, I could just play it a week before everyone else and just put it down and say, can't be touched. I'm clean.
You did it.
You cannot infect me.
Hey, that's something. Yeah, you could pay to avoid spoilers. That's a
whole new way.
You won't have to worry about it being spoiled for you because you were in early. You were in early access.
So that's happened with
you can do that for free. Just close the website. Don't go on the internet.
I have a friend who for Spider-Man 2, he works at IGN doing guides and stuff, and he got Spider-Man 2 for a review. And he was really looking forward to the game. And he said he would only take the game on one condition. He could play it a week earlier than he was going to for work to make guides, just for his personal enjoyment. And then he would go back through it for the guides and all that. And they agreed to it. And he just enjoyed all by his lonesome, him working on it, just playing it for his enjoyment for like a week. And it was bliss for him.
Yeah. That's the beauty right there. That's lovely. That's why I can never be a game reviewer, because I just want to play games for my enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I don't play them fast.
You don't want to rush through it. Well, I've actually had this conversation with Sean a lot. You know, Sean does a lot of reviews, or at least his outlet does a lot of reviews, and gets access to a lot of games early. And there's something to be said about playing the game when other people are playing it instead of before. Because you're living and experiencing all these things in real time and nobody else is. And like when you're reviewing it, like you can't share it, right? You can't share the experience. And then by the time everybody catches up to you, you've already kind of done it, So like there's something to be said about that. Yarden posted in the chat, how much would you pay to play Astrobot today? Like I would probably throw a little extra. Like if you were like, Donnie, the game is $60, but today if you give us $80 today, you can play it early. Like, would I do that? Yeah, but like that doesn't really change anything. If you told me the game was $80, I would still give you $80 for Astrobot. If you were like on September 6th, it's $80, I'd be like, well, this is how much we have to play. Like that, it's not just the early, it's just how much I'm paying for the game. Like I want to play Astrobot, so I'll pay whatever they tell me I need to pay to play Astrobot within reason. You know,
What you say within
I
reason,
wouldn't pay
but
like
is it really within
$200
reason?
to play Astrobot early. I'd be like, no, I'll wait for it to come out. I don't need to play it early.
145.
No, that's crazy. No, why would I do that?
With some
you
of
pay 80.
with how enthusiastic you
I
are.
would play 80 because what's $20? Who cares? That's fine.
100.
Maybe 100 is probably the. Do I get like
Top of the scale for you?
Do I get like
nothing
stuff
extra.
in it?
Nah.
Nothing.
Nah.
It's
get a
digital
sticker.
code.
PlayStation Stars points, Donnie. That's what
No,
you
fuck off. No, never mind.
get.
Hey, them PlayStation Stars points actually add up.
Okay, so
They've
like
got
here's
me some
something
good
I'll bring up,
discounts.
and here's actually something topical for something I'm interested in hearing about Call of Duty with Game Pass. The last couple Call of Duties, if you pre-order the game, you get early access to the campaign before the multiplayer go live, which I think is super fun. I'm wondering with Game Pass, do they still sell that? Like, do we get like the Forza? Like, if you give us $30, you get the early access and the thing. Like, I would do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they
I'll
don't.
do that.
That was one of the big complaints everybody was saying. Like, it comes to Game Pass, but I still got to pay extra to get the game early. So I don't think that's coming to Game Pass.
Well, I like that. I buy the Forza expansions and stuff to get the early. Like I would do that if I could buy the Call of Duty Game Pass bonus whatever, and I get I don't know an operator and some maps and a skin and early access to the campaign and early access to the beta. I would totally throw them $30. That'd be great.
I guess here's the
You're
thing.
going to
How
get
many?
the discount for being a Game Pass subscriber. That's what you get instead.
Right. I guess from their financials, how many full price or more than full price, whether it's like 80, $100 for the campaign first stuff, sales would you lose by offering that benefit on Game Pass? I don't think it would be much because the people are going to do that. I think we're going to do it anyway.
True. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I would do it anyway. So like I think it works. Like they've done this with a few of their games, and I think it works. And I'm totally here for the upsell. Because my Game Pass is like paid for years in advance. So like whatever. But yeah, no. If you were like, hey, if you give me $125 today, you can play Astrobot, I'd be like, nah, I'll just pay 60 in September. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It would have to be like, if you told me I could give you $125 to play Grand Theft Auto 6 today, I probably would.
Well, in the state it's in now, whatever that is,
I probably would. And on PC? Yeah, I probably would.
I don't know.
On PC.
That's
an even more broke state.
Yeah.
I think you might overestimate how done this game might be right now.
Yeah, no, I've played a lot of games like that in my past TPR. I didn't even talk about it. I played I was saving it for Shaq anyway. I played Shim. If anybody's followed that, it's an indie game. Or like you it's like an indie, I don't know to say a platformer. It's like an adventure game where you like hop around the shadows. It's like a puzzle game where like everybody's walking around like a town and stuff. And like you're a shadow and you can only move and traverse in the shadows. I've been playtester and been playing the game early for the developer. And I like it. I'm glad I'm playing it early because having played it now, I don't think I would actually buy and play it. It's cool, it's neat, but like after you kind of do it for a little bit, you're like, okay, it's not like a full game's worth of neat. But yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't. Like, I'm still kind of in that fence where I don't know if I'm going to play Call of Duty Day One. I mean, Grand Theft Auto. It really depends on how well it runs on consoles. If it runs well enough on consoles, I will. If it doesn't, I think I'll wait.
I know. GTA
I don't believe that.
I know you don't, and I think Sean doesn't either.
I know how much you love GTA. That's how you feel right now until it's out and everybody's playing it, and you're like, I've got this. I've got
like,
two
what if
consoles
it's running
that can run
terribly?
But it's not gonna run terribly, and we know this. We know it's not gonna run terribly. Yes,
Okay.
we know it's
But like
not gonna run terribly
on regular base hardware, not PS5 Pro or whatever, on base hardware.
Yeah, It's not
Like,
gonna
can
run
it
terrible.
run well at 30 frames a second?
Dude,
Can it run at 1080p 60?
I think we forget GTA 5 on the
Yeah.
PS3, and they pulled that
No,
off. At
I
30
don't forget.
FPS.
I'm there.
Yeah,
But like, it did run great. I was
I-
there day one then, and it didn't run great.
I thought it ran well. I was there day one
No.
too.
It ran just fine. It literally ran just fine.
It ran well for me
And-
for 2013 standards. I don't know what that says, but
I'm pretty sure it's going to run just. It's
If
going
it
to be
runs
60
okay, then
frames.
yeah, I'll play it. Yeah, for
You're
sure.
playing it day one. I'm
If
calling
it runs
now.
well, let's play it.
Over under on Donnie playing Grand Theft Auto 6 on either PlayStation or Xbox. He's going to play it on whichever system Digital Foundry says it runs best on.
What if Haley just gets it and I'll just play on her thing?
There's also that. You guys could just go
I
halvesies.
could just do I don't have to. I just do the Haley pass and I'll wait for my PC version.
Yeah. You're playing it day one. Let's just stop pretending that you're not.
I'm not pretending. I'm just saying if it's like this thing barely if it struggles to hold 30 and it's, dynamic and it's running at 900p and like I'll just wait.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But I also don't know if that's going to be the case. Like, we don't know that. Maybe there's a 60 FPS version for
It's
console.
going to run 60 and it's going to be great. It's going to be glorious and you're going to be there day one.
Like,
yelling about how awesome it
based
is.
on like how GTA looks, I can honestly care less about resolution and ray tracing and stuff. It is about
That's why-
performance.
That's why I said frames. I didn't say anything
It's
about
about
resolution.
performance. Like, I really want to play that game at 60. Like, I really
And you
do.
will on
I hope so.
console day one.
I hope you're right.
I guarantee it.
At the very least,
guaranteed.
at the very least, like 45.
Nah,
Like, let me get the VRR 45 in there. But like, if it's like 30 and it struggles old 30, I will wait.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's coming out. It's gonna be 60 frames. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be glorious.
Do you guys hear my cat? She's like
I
losing
hear
it.
somebody's cat. I didn't know if it was
Hey,
yours
what are
or
you-
TTR's.
What are you doing?
my mic was muted. I think.
She's like scratching at the door, meowing and rolling around. Like, what is happening? What's going on over here?
She
Is there a
needs
wall
her
on the other side of
attention from dad. She needs her.
No, she's
attention.
not even near me. She's over here. Like, it's like
But she
someone's on the
knows
other
you're
side of the
there.
door.
She knows you hear her.
No, Yarden, I'm not getting a pro for GTA. I have a pro. It's called my Alienware PC. That's the point of waiting. It's like, that's the pro.
Yep. All right. Last question before we get out of here. We'll pick Yarden's just because he's here. Why not?
Which one?
Yarden says, if you
Well-
could live during any time period, which would you choose? Maybe during biblical times, the Dark
you out of your
Ages, the far
mind?
future. When and why?
Have anybody read the Bible? You have any idea what happened in the Bible? Are
Right.
you crazy?
Right.
Are you fucking nuts? No.
Yeah, Yarden's insane with this one. Because
Uh,
first of all, do you know how far back I'd have to go? And then my lifespan is what, 30 years maybe?
not even 30.
Absolutely. Right.
Most not 30. Here's the thing.
Absolutely not.
Here's how funny I'd put this. Here's how I'd put this question in. Do you know how far would you be willing to roll the clock back? Because for me, it's not that far.
I'm not rolling the clock back at all.
Like, I might roll the clock back like, yeah, it's definitely not the case for you, I guess. But for me,
Exactly.
I might roll the clock back like to like maybe the 70s. And like, that's as far as it goes, dude.
In terms of when you'd be in your prime or when you'd be born.
No. It's the question is a time
If you
period
could
that
live
would
during any
go
time
with.
period.
Like, if you could time machine your ass back somewhere where, like, honestly, nothing before the 1970s.
I think I could go back
I
to the
mean
50s, but not
nothing.
before that.
No,
could. I absolutely could
no,
not.
Dev could not.
Thanks, America. Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you are, Dev. Like,
I
like
don't
location
not
is
go
also-
south of Maryland.
Even still, no.
No,
I'm not going back past the 90s.
I'm not going to the 50s. Fuck
Actually,
that.
wait, then there's the Cold War. Maybe I'll push that to the 60s.
See, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
think
Like,
the
I'm not
60s, like-
going to the 40s.
Okay, how
I'm
about
not
this?
going to the industrial age.
Post
I'm not
civil
going
rights
to the
movement,
1800s.
60s,
Fuck the
mid 60s.
1700s. Fuck medieval. Fuck Rome. Are you crazy? No. They stoned
No.
people alive. They hung people on crosses. They burned people at the stake. Like, no, I'm not doing any of that shit.
Mid
You're a
60s, I could
heretic.
do it.
You're going to get burned.
Instantly. Immediately.
And then if you go further back past all that, like it's even worse. Like, because again, you're going to die of something before
Something
you're like
super
15.
fast. or
Like,
die of the flu at
no.
like 13.
Yeah.
You know, like no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
So the other question is, do you go to the far future?
And actually, where we are now, still probably absolutely not.
How far? Like the question is there a future at this point? How soon
need to
before we
ask-
blow ourselves up?
Good question. Again, the movie I brought up before, The Time Machine. Good question. Like that's, yeah, I don't know, but I don't necessarily think I don't want to go. Part of me, it's like I watch so many funny TikToks about ending things now. Like I watched one earlier of like a comet just hitting the earth, and I was like, that's the play right there. Like that.
I'm saying,
like,
I'm here for it.
I'm not
Hit
trying
the reset
to live
button.
50
Let's
years
go.
from now. Do you see where we are now? Like I'm not trying to advance this.
I
I'm not
can't
trying
even
to
imagine. I
set
feel
this
so
as a higher
bad
power.
for my
This sounds
children.
terrible. You know, like I don't want any part of that. But yeah, like the furthest I love this question when he asked it because I was like, this is so small. Like I would not go very far from where I am. Like even the 70s, I'm like, I am decades away from the internet. And decades, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. I think I could. The 70s might feel like a simpler time. At least on an individual, like live your life level, like you work a job, you have your family, there's less noise, there's like, you know, like it was a prosperous time, at least for us here in America, maybe not around the world. And you know, like I could look forward to like the 80s, right? And that seemed fun. But like even then, like video games are decades away. Like, I don't know, man.
Oh,
I really like you sit back and think about it, you're like, oh God, these people, you were talking about Delvin.
you have
He's
Magna
playing
Box
like
Odyssey.
jumping jacks and marbles and shit. Like, what the fuck? No.
You got jacks.
See, I could do that. I could easily go live in the 80s. I could live in the 90s. I would be fine without the internet because I lived for so long without it. So that wouldn't bother me at all.
That just
That's
seems
as
boring.
far back as I can.
You only have like 6 channels.
It doesn't bother me. Like that's totally okay for me.
You only
that
could
was
listen
my
to
life.
what was on the radio. You couldn't, like, if you had a song you wanted to listen, you couldn't just listen to it immediately.
The funny thing is, I miss that. Like I am enjoying streaming. I'm enjoying streaming things that are weekly because now it gives me something to look forward to versus binging through everything. I'm like, man, I miss that. So I totally would be all right in the 80s and the 90s, but anything
thinking, like,
further back, I couldn't do it.
New band drops an album. Maybe it's not out in print yet.
I get to go pick it up.
Listen to it. You know, maybe it's not out
On
yet.
tape?
Maybe it hasn't released physical yet. Maybe
Oh,
like
yeah,
they released a single. You can only listen to it when the radio plays it until the album comes to your town or whatever. Like that's
until you hit the record button and just record on the blank tape.
But you've got to.
That's what we did.
I know. I recorded tapes too. Like I'm not that young, but still, I don't know if I would willingly go back and accept it. Like I'm decades away from like
the stuff we have now.
I'm going back to even like I'm decades of, like if I went back to the 70s, I'm decades away from saying Pong. Pong.
Decades?
Right?
No.
No?
Not decades.
Like a decade?
Like
when did Pong come
maybe
out?
10 years.
Right.
If that.
You're right. I'm saying decades. Like I'm
Pong
thinking
came out in 1972.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm thinking like 80s. I'm
thinking
like home console Pong.
Yeah, home console Pong probably would have been in the late 70s.
Yeah. And like people are like, holy shit, this game is amazing. Could you imagine if you went back with all the knowledge you have? You're like, this is trash. like this ain't it, guys. Like that living that existence would be difficult.
So Pong came to Atari in 1975. So it's not even.
But I also, if I could take myself back to the 70s, I also would know like all the things that were coming and could like make those bets down the way.
This is Back to the Future Part 2, Johnny. This is what you're describing. Sports betting.
Like put all the money into Apple, baby. Like as much of that shit as possible.
Hell, go back 10 years, put in NVIDIA. They just surpassed Apple as like the second biggest stock on the market right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't. Like you're talking about like people are like, you could go to like, you don't have to go that far back. You go to like the 1920s. Most houses don't have air conditioning or like bathrooms. They have outhouses in it. That wasn't that long ago.
Right.
Fuck that. I feel bad for every generation of humanity until like the 50s. Like it all seems real bad until then. And then it kind of got good for a bit. You know, it's like, oof.
Yeah,
This is a tough question.
it's not. It's really
I wouldn't
not.
go that far back.
It's a very easy question. I'm just not doing it. Like
I would I would probably just be born a little bit earlier. Like if I could match my timeline, maybe closer to Deb's. So instead of being born in 87, I'm born in like 82,
That's
81. And then I can then I have some of this earlier, like late 80s, early 90s nostalgia that I really don't have now. I could have a little bit more of that. I'd be okay.
You'd have played the NES and loved it.
Yeah.
Instead of hating it.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I'd be like, Legend of Zelda is amazing, guys.
Yep. Yeah.
But future.
I mean, he's right. The future
The future almost sounds worse.
It really does, but it could also be great. Who knows?
Corporate overlords. We're all just workers for the man.
Everything is Amazon. It's by and large, basically.
Like you think about like the worst of like China or Japan is what feels like the future. Like we don't have apartments. We have like beds that we rent. We just have like beds that we just go rent the bed and lay in it. You know?
Have you ever seen Wall-E? Okay, so that's the future. Wall-E, basically, we've destroyed the Earth, and now we all for the past 700 years, have lived on a spaceship just in space, just floating around, waiting for the Earth to fix itself. We can't walk around. Everybody just kind of sits. Our bone density has gone to nothing. So like they can't walk or move, and we're just in like chairs that hover around, basically.
Yeah.
What did
we don't even talk to each other face to face.
Every month this year has been the hottest month on record ever. Every month of the year. Yeah. So like we seem like we're right on track for that.
Right on track for that.
Yeah, I don't want to be here for any of that.
Nah.
Yeah.
All bad.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
You don't ask his second question? It's a better question.
John Wick turns 10 this year. Obviously, he loves the series. He still thinks the original is his favorite. It's a perfect movie in his opinion. It's a great premise and setup, and the ending is amazing. Is there any movie that you consider a perfect movie?
Terminator 2.
Ooh, good call. I like it.
I'm going.
I wanted to hear your guys' versions of this. Movie. What was that?
The Matrix. That's my perfect movie.
I thought of that one, but I know people. Again, it's just for us, so this isn't to deter your comment or your entry. I still know people today that don't get the Matrix.
Too bad for them.
Yeah, it is bad for them. But
that's not my problem. It's still my perfect movie.
I think of Alien. I think of Goodfellas.
Yep.
I think of The Breakfast Club. I think of Office Space. No Country for Old Men.
Very good movie.
Yep. Never seen that.
I love this movie. It's really like a me thing. I love the movie Adventureland. You've never seen it?
Never heard of it.
Trying to think.
Inception's another one for me.
This is a stupid one. And this is kind of where I wanted to go with the thing, because it's definitely not like a great movie, but I do think it's like the perfect movie for what it's trying to be. Varsity Blues.
I love Varsity Blues.
Isn't it great?
Fucking incredible.
It's like great soundtrack, great stories, the coach, the players, the injury. Like it does everything for high school football that you need a movie to do.
I was so mad. I was like, this is not real. This is not what high school football is really like, because that is not what it's like out here in LA. But that's what it's like in Texas.
It's great. I dare almost want to put in the first Fast and the Furious.
The Dead Man Walking. One? It's also another good one. It's a drama, though, with Sean Penn and Susan Sarandon. But that's like a very emotional movie, Dead Man Walking.
Yeah, I'm not taking just like greatness. I'm thinking of like almost perfect, like in the sense of like the story that it's telling. Like these are movies that like I never click away from.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
If I scroll across and land on one of these movies, I'm watching this movie. I never like bypass a chance to watch Goodfellas. I've probably seen the movie 40 times. It doesn't matter. The amount of
times that I have seen Goodfellas.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Like when it's on, that's what we're watching. You know, like it's just such a good movie.
She does that with Forrest Gump. She does it with Goodfellas.
Gump
Casino.
Is very good. I didn't even think of that one. That's a good answer. She's
not turning away from Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is kind of, because it's such an investment, I can see not being in the mood for.
She's
I'm
always in the mood for that.
I'm always in the mood for Office Space.
Office Space is
Always.
great.
Office Space is
It's
great.
incredible. It's like the most genius movie ever made.
Hey, it's the
so
Mondays. Nah, I believe you
it's
get
so
your ass kicked for
bloody
saying
perfect
something like that.
that we've had entire tech generations pass it by, and it's still as applicable today as it ever was. It's
Yes.
incredible.
PC load letter.
It's amazing how good that movie is.
I love that movie.
I'm glad he asked this question. This is the one I was like, man, I really want to get to this one. I love No Country for Old Men, like the quiet stalking of that movie and the constant like on the heels, and that, yeah, it's really good.
The coin scene, that's my favorite scene in that movie.
It's so tense, right? Man, I love
I've never
it.
seen it.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, you should,
Nothing
Deb.
about
It's
it.
very good.
Not my cup of tea.
You haven't seen it?
I've seen enough of it to realize I don't want to watch it because you couldn't escape it. So you've always seen some of it. Interstellar, now that's another one that I'm like,
Oh, Interstellar is perfect
sign
for
me
me.
up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, that's where I was separating like greatness from perfect.
Arrival is also perfect for me.
Arrival was breathtaking. It was very good.
I'm not even thinking about what's great. I'm just thinking about what I like.
Sure, and
If
that
I like
in
it,
my
that
head,
makes it perfect. I don't care about
in my
greatness.
head, I was trying to slightly separate, because obviously there's like great movies, right? And you can go to like all the, I could pull like Casablanca or the Godfather and things like
Never
that.
seen no Castle.
But like I think for a
Shit
lot,
out
I think
here.
for a lot of movies, like you either have to be into it, right, or like they may have issues. Like there are some of the issues you could take with like the science of Interstellar, and like some plot holes and stuff. The other things I was thinking, like the Breakfast Club, right? I kind of think the Breakfast Club is like a timeless, universal movie. Like it applies to all, right? Like it just kind of is that movie, and when you see it, everybody stops and right. And I feel the same way about Office Space. I kind of feel the same way about Goodfellas, and I don't feel the same way about those movies like I do The Godfather or Interstellar, which I love. Interstellar is like the most impressive movie I think I've ever seen, like in theater. Like when I saw that thing when it was originally ran, like it blew my mind.
So I first saw it when I was in theaters, and I saw it afterwards, and I'm like, man, I would kill to see this in theaters in the future. And
Exactly.
I came back to IMAX and I saw it, and I'm like, this is exactly
like it's an experience. Like it's an incredible experience. Yeah. So I was trying to take a different approach to it.
Ooh, Top Gun, also perfect.
Good call. Top Gun is great. Yeah.
Love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, just as dead.
The Shining.
You ever watch Iron Eagle?
Oh yeah.
My dad was an Iron Eagle
All
dad.
17 of them.
Yeah, my dad was an Iron Eagle dad.
Yeah.
So
Good old Lou Gossett.
yeah. You have any idea we're talking about TPR? It's like we have Top Gun at home. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
I know Top Gun, not this Eagle thing.
You should watch Iron Eagle. Yeah, it's
Iron Eagle,
the first one and the second one is actually good, but the other ones are not so much. Oh, fuck me, Bloodsport.
Oh yes,
Bloodsport.
absolutely.
Perfect movie. Movie's great.
Bloodsport is
Bloodsport yet
awesome.
either.
And actually, in the same boat, I will nominate The Karate Kid.
I mean, you have
Excellent, timeless movie. So
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
100%.
Back to the
I
Future.
love these answers.
Back to the Future is great.
Mm-hmm.
I would still say great
Predator.
movies. Predator. See, I liked Predator a lot, but I don't think I liked it as much as I was expecting to.
I don't like Predator as much rewatching it. I
I
liked
love
it a lot
Predator.
when I was
It's
younger,
stupid.
and now I'm like,
Like, I hate to
It's-
bring it up,
it's
but when I
so
watch
stupid.
Predator against
It
Alien,
really
I'm
is.
like, this is no
It's-
contest.
it's pretty tough.
It's stupid. That's the whole point. That's why I like it.
But it's not like
big,
funny
dumb
stupid,
action
like
fun.
Meet the Parents is like, funny stupid, or like Dodgeball.
Just put Adam
Dodgeball is
Sandler
really
on it,
good.
yeah.
And compelling. They're not so stupid that you turn away. Like I love Dumb and Dumber. The OG, I literally can recite every line in the movie. But I realize it's too stupid for like some people would be like, this is too dumb. Right?
Yeah.
Dodgeball is still compelling enough. It's dumb, but compelling enough that most people will probably still watch
I mean, I feel like the Truman Show walks that line really well.
it. That is a great pick, actually.
Never
The
seen
Truman Show is very good. I think Cable Guy's better, but I don't think that's
never seen that one either.
I think most people would go the Truman Show.
So, definitely the premise, Jim Carrey.
Oh, I know what they are. I know what they are. Just never watched them.
All right.
I know both the movies. The premises
I
are.
think it's
Would you
arguably
go
Jim
Any
Carrey's-
Given Sunday?
Oh God, that's good. Any Given Sunday is great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great
Steamin'
movie.
Willie Beeman. Fucking Cap. You know?
Oh man, so good.
And speaking of back to that, and this is just us being men here because we've pulled so many sports movies. So what about The Replacements? That's
also a
another
great
like movie I don't click
That
off
movie
of.
is
I think I've seen that.
hilarious.
The Replacements?
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
Gene Hackman, Keanu Reeves. That must
Dean
you
Hackman,
gotta watch
Keanu
it.
in it. That's
You've gotta watch it.
It's nonsense and it's great.
It is very good. Shane Falco, Ohio State
man.
great. Well, Buckeye legend Shane Falco taking the Washington Sentinels to the playoffs, man.
Let's go. Get me the ball.
Yeah. Oh God, that is great. That's a perfect movie. That's really
is.
good
Yeah.
for what it is. For its little rom-com football schlock, it's
Yep.
perfect. It does that
is
very
great.
well.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. It's a good call. Good call.
No horror movies were said.
I was considering
true.
saying
What?
Evil
Alien?
Dead, but that Evil Dead is not perfect, but it's
Yeah.
it's like the best cheesy. It's the best cheesy, but also really good film, but it's not perfect for me.
When I think perfect horror movies, I think Elm Street, Halloween, and Texas Chainsaw.
I loved Elm
The
Street.
original Nightmare on Elm Street is incredible.
Elm Street one is
It's a
great.
comedy.
It is all of it. It's
As
As
funny,
much a
it's
comedy
scary.
as it is. So the premise
It's
is
incredibly
terrifying.
bloody.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
incredibly
Oh,
gory.
the Johnny Depp death scene, like there is
The
blood.
Tina death scene.
The Tina death scene across the ceiling. Yeah,
Yeah. Like it's very and like the hissing and the boiler room part, like it's really scary, but it is really funny. He does the
Like-
stupid stretched out arms,
the tongue
And
at the
the-
phone.
the bomb through the shit. Like it's
Yeah.
all of it. That's like
Yeah.
it's everything.
Yeah.
And then Texas Chainsaw is kind of the recipe for honestly a horror that would follow decades later. Like we're still making Texas Chainsaw not just Texas Chainsaw, we're still making movies
Yeah,
like Texas Chainsaw. Like we're making
I-
horror movies that are basically following the same template.
I really love New Nightmare a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's my second
It
favorite.
did until the
Nightmare.
ending.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
your
the
first
ending-
favorite nightmare?
Nightmare 1.
What?
Nightmare on Elm Street 1's my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah, we disagree hard here, I think.
What 3 years?
Dream Warriors is the best.
Yeah, I was
nightmare.
about to say it's either 3 or 1.
It's
I think
Dream Warriors, then 1, then 4,
Dream Master.
then New Nightmare, then 2, then 5.
Yeah, so for me it's 1, New Nightmare 3, then 4.
2 or 5. They're both
Then-
bad, but which one's your favorite?
I think I like 5 more than 2, but 2's fun.
5 was like when I was younger, it was 5. And as I've grown older, it's become 2. Like as I become older and more aware, like I appreciate 2 for what it is more than 5 is just kind of
I guess everyone's just putting 6 at the bottom. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By everyone you mean y'all. I've only seen the first one in New Nightmare.
Yeah, my wife and I, we watched. She wanted to watch New Nightmare last year because I've talked to her for years. New Nightmare is like the precedent for Scream.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was Scream before Scream,
Yeah. Fourth
and
wall
nobody
everywhere.
knows it, and nobody gives it any flowers for that at all. People are like, "Scream's amazing! It revolutionized the thing." It's like, well, New Nightmare kind of did that though.
And going into Scream, when I knew people said, if you love New Nightmare, you're gonna love Scream. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I saw Scream, and I'm like, it's exactly what I thought it was, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I also thought like a lot of my favorites, I wouldn't call it perfect. Like I love Midsummer. It's maybe my favorite modern horror. I wouldn't call it the perfect movie. It's not for everybody, but for the people it is, it's incredible.
I want my time back for watching that.
I love
Midsummer, I really love the cinematography, although by the ending, I was just confused in a not so flattering way.
it. It gets better. There's a lot of like, I don't want to explain the movie to people, but there's a lot of hidden elements that if
Yeah.
you keep watching, or if you
Like-
Google, you'll start to pick up on and see that you don't see like on the first time through. But what I was going to say is, while I realize that Midsummer may not be like quote unquote the perfect movie, I actually think Hereditary is though.
I still haven't seen it.
I think Hereditary is like the modern version of like the perfect horror movie. It's got everything, and it kind of never stops, and it's crushing, and it's funny, and it's terrifying, and it's brooding, and like it's a lot of everything. Like it's got everything you could want. Hereditary is pretty great.
And on that note, everybody go watch Hereditary so you can either agree or disagree with Donnie.
Yeah, let me
Hit him
know.
up
Tell me your
and let
thoughts.
him know. In
As
the
Josh
TV and
always
Movies
put,
channel.
It's the perfect 3-act structure for a horror movie. It's like 3 separate horror movies in one. So
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast. TPR, thank you for joining us on such short notice.
Thank you.
absolutely.
And until next time, please play some video games.
Enjoy summer game mess, folks.
Nobody's sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.
Okay, guys, hang on a second. I'll be right back.
I actually got to go because I got to go pick something up from Target before they close.
At 9:30. Good luck.
Yeah, they close at 10 and it's like 5 minutes from me, so it's not
There you
too
go.
far away. So
right,
I'm going
cool.
to make it. So just tell Donnie I had to bounce because I had to go. So
Oh, we're still live.
are we?
What was
Oh
that?
my God, we are still live.
Are we still live?
That's
Yeah, we're
what
still
he
live.
said. Yeah, we are live.
Yeah.